Answer your phone if we call. We're shameless. You're broke. Let's do this. This national contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
My breakfast needs two things, eggs and to be easy on my wallet. But these days, that's hard to find. Luckily, I know where to look. McDonald's. And now as part of the buy one, add one for $1 breakfast deal, I get the breakfast I want at the price I love. From the Egg McMuffin to a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, or even the sausage McMuffin with egg. My wallet and my taste buds stay happy. But hurry, these sandwiches in this deal won't last. Back up your next breakfast at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
A meal at McDonald's brings my family closer together. And now, that same meal helps bring other families closer together. When we order a family bundle deal that has 40 crispy chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries, McDonald's donates 50 cents to local Florida Ronald McDonald House Charities chapters, providing a home away from home so families can stay close to their child during medical care. We can also round up our order, and the extra will get donated. Food, family, and helping others. What could be better? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with beautiful designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly. Installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1 month only sale. $300 off all windows, $825 off patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Bonus offer. First 50 callers get a free True Scene screen upgrade. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Spring is here, the perfect season to give your aging roof the attention it deserves. Florida's highest rated roofer is here to help. Save up to $2,000 this season. Get started at jannyroofing.com.
Offer only applies on full roof replacement. Expires May 31st, 2025.
GiveMeTheVin.com is already the best place to sell your car. And now it's even better with GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. Give Me The Vin is giving away $25,000 in cash every month. There are 2 ways to win. Get 250 chances to win with your mail-in entry, or 1,000 chances to win if they buy your car. GiveMeTheVin.com wants to buy your car, whether it's your daily driver, a pickup truck, an SUV, minivan, supercar, or exotic. GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer.
Hush, little baby, yes you can. Mama's gonna buy you a prepaid plan. And with that Florida prepaid plan, Mama's gonna send you to college land. And when you're free to pursue your dreams, Mama's gonna watch your future beam.
With a Florida 529 prepaid plan, you can save for your little one's future. Plans start at $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. Lots to get to today, from Trump's crazy new plan to Marjorie Taylor Greene is confronted at a town hall, and a man held captive for 20 years finally speaks out. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Not bad. Good.
You? Good. Hanging in there. Got all the nasal sprays in before the show.
Wonderful. What are we up to, 17?
No, I'm slowly reducing. I'm using my main one I do now 2 times.
I'm sorry, you have 2 nasal sprays.
Well, you get a secondary one, yeah, but it's not that bad. It just, the secondary one makes my brain spin a little bit, which is a nice feeling.
What is the secondary one?
That is none of your business, sir.
You know the stuff that they use to clean keyboards?
Oh, yeah. I'm walking on sunshine over here, basically. That's how I start my day.
I ran out of the primary one, and I was like, damn it. I don't use it as much as Sean, so it's not like it's not an emergency rush to the pharmacy for replacement Flonase.
So what's the secondary? Just
I don't have
saline?
a secondary.
Oh.
Wow, he's raw dogging it. Just wild on the show today. Just wild. We have Fritz on the Street coming up in a couple of hours. That should be fun. Somebody said, Sean said there's big announcements today. What are the big announcements?
Last night a drinking night?
Last night was not a drinking night. But those big announcements, forthcoming on the show. Now, what we're going to have to do, we'll have a little powwow to figure out what the hell this person's talking about and what announcements they're referring to, because I don't know of any that, unless iHeart's going to interrupt us in the middle of the show and go, we do have a big announcement.
We have I'll call meeting. No big deal. But we do need to gather your things.
So will we make it to the end of the show today?
The announcement is, bye!
Well, that's good. At least I have all my investments skyrocketing.
I would appreciate if it was done that way, actually, C-Lane. If iHeart came all professional and then, bye! All right, fine. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And who is that? Is that who I think it is?
Oh, wow. And is this not an old video?
A rare Biden makes an appearance. I thought this guy was dead. He's still alive. He's out there, and he was giving a rousing speech in front of a crowd. Let's tune in to get all the excitement.
Learn about something that's really just unfair and unjust. You know, my dad was an honorable man. And my dad used to have an expression. He said, Joey, your job's about a lot more than a paycheck.
What?
It's about your dignity.
I mean, so far, it's kind of low energy. I'm not going to lie. This is Biden's return. I would have think there was...
Maybe put the mics closer to his mouth.
Maybe. He was just a little bit low talking right now. One thing that happened was, I don't know if the DJ at this event was against him, but they played a Bruce Springsteen Biden song.
Dead.
And he's like, Biden's fighting for you, saving Social Security, whatever the song is. And Biden comes out, and then Biden starts talking, and the volume on the song stayed pinned.
They didn't fade down.
No, for like 45
Amateurs.
seconds. And he's like, hey, everybody, how you doing?
My daddy once said, and
the song is just rocking over Biden's mumble talk.
It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it.
I can't hear you.
Well, that's what you're all about.
What?
That's what the legislation is about. It's about dignity.
Okay.
Simple dignity. Everyone.
Who's this guy?
Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity.
I was going back down.
Regardless of their standing, regardless of the economic situation, regardless of who they are. Making sure that more than 60 million Americans.
I don't know much of what he's saying, but he got a little louder there at least, his big comeback speech.
Here's the thing. We have the technology available.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who's part of the production team for something like this, let's go ahead and throw in those automatic captions.
Oh, that'd be nice. Or like, don't we have enough AI that they could take the volume and go up and down?
Enhance.
And then our job would be so much easier over here because you wouldn't have to worry about those things fading in and out.
Would it be easier, though? Because I think the entertaining part is us trying to figure out what he's saying.
That's one thing. Yeah, at least we have that going. But there he is. A wild Biden appears after quite some time. You know, it's like 100 days. You haven't seen much of Biden.
Now back to the Amazon forest. Bye-bye.
Perhaps he's been stuck on a beach. He has trouble walking on those beaches. Maybe he's been trying to work his way inland.
Maybe that's why they put him on the beach. They're like, this will keep
like a maze.
This will keep him occupied for a while.
Turns out it was an island, and he's just doing circles.
He's back, though. He's back, and we are ready to go. Meanwhile, Trump has a wild new idea, and I'm interested in this. I don't know how I feel about this all the way, but I'm interested, to say the least. And we'll hear what MSNBC, they're not fans of Trump. We'll see what they have to say about this. But Trump's plan is doubling down on this idea that immigrants should self-deport, right? Like illegal immigrants, I mean, should self-deport. And like they changed the app that people use for appointments and to come into the country to just like get you out of the country. And I said, no matter what you think, like you just think about being an illegal immigrant in this country, there's no way that I would go, all right, you got me. Like, just, all right, I'm getting out of here.
What's the benefit? Is there a benefit? Like, do they tell you that if you self-deport, that your
get a little swag bag on the way out, see, like
your road back into the U.S. Through proper channels will be made somehow easier for you?
Allegedly. Now, I don't know how much I believe in this just yet, but here's what's supposedly going on. President Trump's crazy new idea here. Tell us if you like it or hate it. President Trump has proposed a self-deportation program for illegal immigrants in the U.S. The plan includes offering them money and a plane ticket for those who choose to leave voluntarily. Trump expressed his willingness to help good immigrants return legally. He said, we're going to give them a stipend, which means like some money. You're going to give them some money. We're going to give them some money and a plane ticket, and we're going to work with them. If they're good, if we want them back in, we're going to work with them to get them back in as quickly as we can, the president says. Right? So, like, they're going to pay you, give you an airline ticket and some cash, and they fly you back. And then if you're good, I don't know exactly what that means, but if you're good, then they'll expedite the process of getting you back in legally. This is the suggestion of what's going to happen.
That sounds like a bigger waste of money.
To me, I would be a little wary if I was with a legal immigrant. They'll be like,
we haven't seen the planes yet. I don't know if they're going to have a snack basket for you to pick out of.
It feels like the dog catcher going, we've got some beautiful bones for you here today. Here you go. Enjoy. That's the dog catchers do in the very nefarious version of them in cartoons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, got it.
But here's MSNBC talking about this.
We've got new reporting on the Trump administration pushing immigrants to self-deport. Tell us about that, because I think a lot of people are afraid to even take the steps to do that, given what's happening at some of these immigration naturalization hearings, meetings that some people are showing up to and then finding themselves in a bad situation.
I really, really wonder what the numbers are on this. Like, how many people have actually self-deported? Like, these are the people who, you remember we played Heads Up, 7 Up in the classroom?
Yeah.
Like, did anybody ever admit that they screwed up? Did anybody in, like, red light, green light go, nobody called me out, but I kept moving after I was supposed to stop? And I just don't feel like that's going to happen a lot.
No,
I would think those numbers will be low.
Probably quite a journey to get here.
Yeah, a lot of these people, yeah. And look, I mean, I want immigration to be orderly. I want it to be done in a way different way than it's been done. But I'm realistic. And if you were in this country, you got like a job now and you got your family set up, the idea that you're going to leave yourself is not super realistic, unless there legitimately is a way to like check out and check back in if you're a good illegal immigrant. And I, for one, believe there are a lot of good illegal immigrants.
And you're also a good illegal immigrant yourself, Sean.
I am a very much American citizen, okay? But if I were an illegal immigrant, I would want there to be some sort of path for me to be here
I
legally.
would be one of the good ones.
I would like to trade a whole bunch of, as I've said many times in this show, actual American citizens for some of these illegal immigrants. Some of the Mexican immigrants in particular are way more patriotic, way more American in so many ways than some of the other people that actually are American citizens. Give me the good people more than almost anything. Some of these people hate America, and they were like, we should prioritize that person over somebody who's like, I will do anything to stay in this country. I'd like to flip-flop that. But they're saying that this is the new plan, and they're going to pay people to self-deport.
That's right. We just saw some reporting on that from yesterday.
Told you.
What our new data finds, and I should say, Mika, this is very hard. ICE is not publishing these numbers, but we were able to obtain the numbers of deportations for March 1st through 28th of this year and compared to March 1st through 28th of last year. And what we found is that in this year, under the Trump administration, there were about 12,300 deportations by ICE.
All right, just in case you're stuck in the MSNBC silo, let me make something pretty clear here. They are BSing you right now, all right? When they bring up numbers like this, they're like, Trump wants people to self-deport because his deportation numbers are lagging. First of all, this is stupid. Here's why. What's happening here? Is the reeing that you're doing over everybody being arrested everywhere at every school and being deported, is that the true stuff? Or is this the true stuff, that actually their numbers are pathetic and they're begging people to self-deport? Those two things are hypocritical. They don't make sense, those two arguments. Secondly, if you look at the border crossing numbers, let me see, border crossing numbers. I don't know if I can find this. Border crossings by week. And you look at those numbers, it's absolutely stunning to see what has happened at the border. And this is why less people are being sent out. This red number is 2025 border crossings, okay? When you look at these, in past years, it's been 189,000 in a week, 222,000, 193,000. Now it's 11,000. Because a lot of people are scared to cross the border illegally now. So this is a funny business with the numbers that they're doing over at some of these outlets. But I actually am interested in this idea if some people will self-deport. And if you are, I got to do some guarantees here. If you are an illegal immigrant, all right, I think your perspective would be very interesting here. All right. If you're an illegal immigrant in this country illegally and you're kind of caught up in all this stuff, send me an email. I promise if you put anonymous, I will keep you anonymous.
This is what ICE says.
I promise you I will not turn you into anybody, but I'd like to know if you're in this country illegally. Email me tips@thenewsjunkie.com. I'll keep you 100% anonymous, and I want to know what you think about
Why
these
did you
things.
just wink at us?
I'm not winking. I'm not winking. I promise.
It just comes off very trappy.
You think I'm flipping people over to ICE here?
I don't think you are. I feel like if we have ICE agents that, thank you for listening. If you can put a little magnet on the back of your crazy little truck. Maybe we make a separate email.
What do you think?
Illegals Anonymous at
you guys think I'm like
tipsathenewsjunkie.com.
I'm the radio version of The Amazing Racist here, and I'm just going to scoop up all these illegals?
I don't think that, but God forbid someone gets a hold of your password. It's so easy.
They won't. No, it's not. Don't say that. It's not. Nobody's going to get a hold of anything. If you put anonymous,
Lady
I promise,
for
at all costs, even if they said, Sean, you must submit those emails, otherwise we're going to send you to jail. I'm going to jail, baby. Guess what? He's going to jail.
He's going to eat all of that.
I'll eat all the names, just like that person who was supposed to give up the tips and ate the names in court a long time ago that Sabrina's talking about.
And they're like, realize, sir, there's a digital copy of this as well.
Doesn't matter. I'm eating the digital copies, too. I will protect your identity.
Man, it'll be full of ones and zeros.
Florida Scratcher on YouTube says, Sean trying to get that reward money. Don't do it. I promise you, I am not going to do that. Ryan says, gift 5 Secret Shows subs and get a one-way ticket to El Salvador. I will keep you anonymous. I just really want that insight.
It'll be nice to pass the time.
If you are sitting there and you're like, I'm in this country illegally, this is tempting or not tempting, or what? Like, what are your plans? How scared are you? The average American isn't getting that feedback. They're not getting it on CNN. They're not getting it on MSNBC. They're not getting it on Fox News. That's the feedback that I think will add to this discourse. So, folks who are in that position, hit us up at thenewsjunkie.com or tips@thenewsjunkie.com. A lot of people talking about what's happening with Facebook and Instagram. I've started to get a bunch of emails about that. Is it true? Is it going to be like the Bell Company? You might not remember this if you're younger.
Like the clothes?
But there used to be just one big phone company. It used to be just Bell, whatever.
Bell South.
Bell South is one of the baby bells.
Oh.
But it used to be Bell Telecom or something. What was the actual name?
I thought it was Bell Labs.
Bell Labs. It was one of the
way before my time.
This was in like the 80s or 90s, and they were determined to be a monopoly, and they crushed them, and they made them sell off into little baby
They
bells.
were determined by the government to be a monopoly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sounded like you were like, they are really determined to become a monopoly. They were
Well,
like,
they were
oh my gosh. On their list, they were like, phase 1,
Monopoly.
telephones.
Oh, sorry.
Phase 2, question marks. Phase 3, monopoly.
Well, they were determined to become a monopoly, according to the federal government, and they did. And they broke up into like Bell South, but, all these different regional ones. And now there's a monopoly trial underway right now that is trying to decide if Facebook is a monopoly. Because Facebook has WhatsApp, they have Instagram, they have all these various platforms, and they're saying that Meta, the main company, might need to be crushed. And I'm interested in talking about this at some point today, and if you think that they should be broken up as a company and what that would look like if that was the case, especially because now they have Threads too. Not that I don't think too many people are still over on that Threads thing, where it's so weird how many people have come for them.
When it pops up on the Instagram feed.
Which it does.
And then I end up, kind of scrolling a little bit.
I have to admit, they are good when you're scrolling Instagram at putting a thread in there that kind of goes ... that you go,
What
is
the
the
house?
rest?
And I
You
keep
click it.
scrolling. They're like, look at this cool new wallpaper you can use, Sabrina.
It's a little bit tempting, but haven't gone over there. Anyways, all of the social media stuff, we'll talk about whether that's going to be broken up at some point in the show. Gayle King is saying I'm sexist. I can't believe it, but that's what Gayle King is saying here. And more conspiracies about Blue Origin. We'll get to that when we come back. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on State Road 414 at Forest City Road. There's a crash where Orange Blossom Trail meets Holden Avenue. An accident on Company Road 46A before Old Lake Mary Boulevard. Emergency crews are clearing up an accident on State Road 408 westbound at Tampa Avenue. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 through that Champions Gate area. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Spring is in the air, and that means it's time to...
Let's go, Mike. Activate it. What do you think, chat? Am I sexist? That's my question for you today. Gayle King says I'm sexist because I am in the group of people who does not think anybody who goes on Blue Origin is an astronaut. I think they're going for a ride. I think it is a sophisticated ride for rich people. That's what I think Blue Origin is. I do not think you're going to space, but in a very generic sense. I think it's barely above like the Vomit Comet. I think it is a ride for very wealthy people. That's what I think Blue Origin is. And Gayle King says that's sexist. What do you think? Am I sexist? Is it sexist to say that? Because to be clear, I think that everybody who's gone before, Jeff Bezos, William Shatner. I think that all of those people have gone on a ride. I do not think any single one of those people are astronauts. I think astronauts don't even have to be American, but generally speaking, I know that we use the name for American versus cosmonauts, etc., are people who have actually gone up to space, to the International Space Station, to missions circumventing the planet, to missions to the moon. Those are astronauts. These people are not astronauts. They are passengers going on a ride. Am I sexist? Tommy says, Sean hates women and shoes. Ladies, I don't hate you. I don't hate you. And there are many women that are astronauts. Right? Many women that are astronauts. Great people. And Sally Ride, Sunny, who just recently was up there for a lot longer than she anticipated. Those women are astronauts. Gayle King is not. She is not in the same category. She is a consumer who went on a ride. Tommy says, I agree they are not astronauts, but it doesn't matter to me. It's a cool ride if you can afford it. It's a different question entirely. I don't think anybody's not saying that. I mean, I know for sure, I've said the whole time, it's cool. Yeah, this is cool. It's a cool time to be alive. I said many things like cool, impressive, fun, brave even. I actually, in particular, said that she was among the most brave. Because Gayle King is scared of flying and overcame that flight, rung the bell like scared as hell, and went on a rocket up on this trip, on this ride. So I think that that's cool. I think that that's brave. I do not think she's an astronaut, and I do not think saying that they are going on a ride is sexist. Also, quick question. Quick question incoming for everybody in chat. Quick question incoming. I have the Nightbot timers set up to alert you of certain things. Things like subscribe to secret shows. Look, it's just advertising. Subscribing to secret shows helps bring in money that pays for this studio and all kinds of other things. Bless you, love you. Gift secret shows today over on thenewsjunkie.com/gift. But there are other timers like the chat rules and the appeal, the ban appeal timer, and other timers in there. Do you think Nightbot is talking too much, too little, or just right? Because I want to make sure that experience is good. Care about chat people, a little bit at least, in the core of my rotten heart. Is Nightbot talking too much, too little, or just right? And should some of those timers be cooled down, maybe like once a show or something? Because that's what I was thinking about. Like, ban appeal should maybe just be once a show. It's weird how the Nightbot timers are set up, but too much, too little, or just right with Nightbot? Just right, too much, way too much. Oh, we got more too muches than just right so far. What if we dial down that that ban appeal one? Dial down the ban appeal to once a show. I mean, when you call Nightbot, I want it to respond, but I want to dial it in so it's not too annoying. Alicia says, I blocked Nightbot a year ago. That's fine. You're free to block Nightbot and not see those messages at all if that annoys you in some way. Doesn't bother me at all. Those are general messages for the general audience. And I want your experience to be good no matter what. So that's one option. But I do want to dial it down for other people too. Don't forget gift secret shows today. You want a magnet? One gifted sub equals one magnet. Every gifted sub is a magnet. Every gifted sub is a magnet and a shout out on the show. Gift yours over at thenewsjunkie.com/gift, or look at that gift icon right there on the homepage. All right, we're coming back. Am I sexist? We'll see.
Yard. The championship is back in the Bay for the first time in 40 years.
On the new limited podcast series, dubbed Dynasty, we hear from head coach Steve Kerr on how Steph Curry almost never even joined the Warriors.
In fact, I thought we had a draft day deal to end up getting him to Phoenix.
For the entire behind-the-scenes story of Golden State's incredible 10-year run, open your free iHeartRadio app, search Dub Dynasty, and listen now.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is the
Brave question to ask, but I'm here to take it. Face first, friends. That's what Gayle King says. Gayle King says, I am sexist.
Because you disagreed with her little space trip?
Oh, Mr. Sexist, do not call it a little space trip. Those are words that are not appreciated here. All right? I feel a little bit burned up about this, if I'm honest with you, okay? The am I sexist question, I know what some of you are going to say. I'm not. I'm a good guy. I'm a fair guy. I love everybody the same. Until you suck and then I don't love you no matter who you are, right? Like, I'm pretty fair about things. That's where I come from as a human being, right? But when I see this stuff where Gayle King comes out and goes, look, this is sexist. It's sexist to say that I went on a ride. I say, no. This is not sexist. It's completely and totally normal to say that Gayle King went on a ride, mostly because Gayle King went on a ride. And to be absolutely, completely crystal clear, so did everyone else who has been on Blue Origin. It is a rich people ride, an RPR, if you will. You go up, you go a little higher than the Vomit Comet, and you go up into space and you float around for 15 seconds or something. It is a ride for rich people. And comparing that ride with somebody like Sally Ride or actual astronauts is sort of silly. That's why I say
silly
it's a
ride.
I think
Silly
it's a cool
Ride versus Sally Ride. All right, we're getting somewhere here, buddy.
That's a great name. I do think that it's cool and
I saw
indeed,
the footage.
Indeed brave. You guys can attest to this. I said of all the people, the only one I think is based is Gayle King because she is scared of flying and she went on this trip on Blue Origin.
I've never related to somebody more than seeing the footage of Gayle King. From the moment they all did the bell ringing, where everyone's
she was like, oh.
yeah, and then Gayle King's like praying to that bell. And then I saw this morning the footage from inside, which was a great laugh. And Gayle King was like, cool, hi, here we are, selfie style, grabbing for her life for any handle that she could find.
Astronauts, though, they are not. And Tanya on YouTube, come on now.
Tanya, what Tanya say?
More like a bunch of astro.
No, they're not astronauts or astro, what she says, rhymes with knots. But they are passengers on a ride.
If only we were in the UK. Damn it.
That is not the way to handle this. And she's now, I guess, saying that if you call them passengers, it's sexist. Here was some of the conversation on CBS.
What do you think when people say, oh, it's frivolous? Number one, they call it a ride, which I find very irritating because they never say men went for a ride.
Yes.
What do you say to people who think that this was frivolous or just a ride? I think the message that it sends is very, very powerful. And the people that say that, by the way, weren't there.
Okay. She is saying, there's another clip of her talking about this, too, that I'm going to get to. But she is saying people are calling them out and saying it was a ride, and nobody calls it a ride if a male astronaut goes to space. She's conflating two things. I believe, and I think a lot of people who say this believe, everyone, man, woman, everyone who has gone on the Blue Origin thing has gone on a rich people ride, a very cool rich people ride. I refuse to conflate those people who have 14 hours of training with our astronauts, men and women, who are incredibly skilled, incredibly smart, incredibly brave and talented people who have done this for a very long time. Those are not the same thing. We can't keep screwing up definitions like this.
Okay, riddle me
Words
this.
are important.
When it comes to bungee jumpers. No, I'm sorry. Skydivers will go.
Okay.
So you take your first skydive and you got somebody strapped to your back.
Uh-huh.
And how many individual jumps do you have to have in order to become a skydiver?
I think you are a person who went skydiving or even a skydiver after just one jump. Because
Skydiver.
the act of skydiving is to drop, generally speaking, from a plane.
There's
from a
training
very
involved.
high altitude. Minimal amount of training if you're on your first thing with somebody else. But same with the Blue Origin thing. You fit into the category of a skydiver, loosely speaking. Astronaut is different. Space traveler, okay. Traveler, person who's gone on a ride, okay. I'm okay with all of those things. I just think what matters the most to me with definitions and why I hate all these word Karens, the thing that matters the most to me is the people who deserve this title, right? And the work that they put in. That's what matters. Or the people who live with the things attributed to this title. Let's say autistic, for example, another word that has been bastardized. When some 20-something Gen Z woman who's trying to get TikTok clicks and likes is telling you how she's been diagnosed as autistic and then says a million things that aren't autistic behaviors at all, and autistic people look on to this person and go, geez, I'd kill to have the social skills that you have, but you're out there claiming victim as an autistic person. I think that's bad. I think it bastardizes the word, and I think it's nonsense. And this is the same thing, stolen valor-ish, with astronauts. It's not sexist. It's just real, I think. Here's more from Gail King.
I don't like that people are calling it a ride. A ride, you never see a male astronaut who's going up in space and they said, oh, he took a ride. We actually duplicated the route that Alan Shepard did. That's why it's called, this particular capsule is called the New Shepard. We duplicated that route.
Duplicated it.
No one said he took that ride.
Yes, because nobody had done it before Alan Shepard. He was riding on a hot rocket. He had some modicum of controls, I do believe.
He did. He had control over the attitude of the vehicle.
And guess what? These people did not.
Listen, vehicle, you got a real bad attitude.
I'll turn this rocket around and go right back to home if you keep this up.
Alan Shepard did things.
You know what? Alan Shepard trained and trained and trained and trained and trained and then trained some more. Alan Shepard was in such a state in the level of space travel that we had experienced as a world that he did not have any sort of system to remove liquid waste from his spacesuit, right?
No, he had to sit in the pee. And he ride it out.
They delayed him so long. He thought, I'm getting in this rocket. We're going up. We're coming down. I'll be fine.
Happened.
They delayed him so long that he did have to lay in his own urine for 4 hours.
Who hasn't?
Stop saying that you duplicated Alan Shepard's route like you're some sort of visionary.
The damn words, man.
This is like me getting on a cruise ship and going from England to the United States of America or Spain to the United States of America or whatever, and saying, like, I basically did the same thing the people on the Mayflower did. I went on this trip.
Say the Titanic.
or the Titanic.
But I made it, guys.
More like the Mayflower or something like that, because you'd go, oh, did you really? On an incredibly advanced ship that has almost zero chance of sinking or running out of supplies,
but here's
with
the
air
difference.
conditioning and GPS and all the furnishings one could ever ask for. Did you do the same thing that they did?
Oh,
no.
When you got off the ship, you murdered the locals.
Yeah.
And that's where that kind of ties in together.
Listen, I just returned from Africa on a princess cruise. It was basically Amistad.
Yes, it's not the same. That's where the problem is.
Yeah. It's always referred to as a flight or a journey. So I feel that that's a little disrespectful to what the mission was and what the work that Blue Origin does.
It's not a mission.
What is the work? Space technology all the time, whether it's your GPS, whether it's your satellite. That doesn't just happen. Every time a flight goes up, they get some type of information. Two of the astronauts, I still have a hard time calling.
She's saying they collected data.
Oh,
so
she
that's the
said
word.
she still has a hard time calling herself an astronaut. Well, at least you have just an inkling of self-awareness.
Can both of you guys consider that they got a incredible discount as long as they do these press conferences afterwards along the same lines? They can't. No, Gail can't just be like, "All right, yes,
yes, she can. Absolutely, yeah, she can."
Because she owes them $125,000
when they first land. That cringe interviewer lady was like,
"I'm going to hug you again. I'm going to
Gail, you're an astronaut. Katie, you're an astronaut." That was sort of the marketing side of it. And Gail said at the time, "I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. I don't know." She should have stayed on that route. Words matter.
Katie, who didn't want to make it about her, but then whipped out a butterfly with her set list for the upcoming tour written on it.
There was a lot of product placement
So
and that
annoying.
floating around. But my favorite person was all the way to the right, where they went into a selfie style. And homegirl's just upside down the whole time. She's like, "I'm taking the opportunity and I'm going to be upside down during the entirety of this gravity-free zone."
Those other ladies were fine. Katy Perry, I find it to be very, very much. But
fiance was top one for me.
Fiance, Jeff Bezos' fiance. And the whole thing, really. But there you go. I don't think it's sexist. I don't think I'm sexist, but maybe you disagree. Let us know how you feel.
Yes, please.
I also see the folks who are saying it was conspiracy theory. It didn't even take off. The whole thing was fake.
I saw that as well, that it was weird with the pod on the ground, that it looked fake.
Well, they're continuing with the door thing, but they got it wrong. They're saying, look, the door was open when they landed, and this is definitive proof that the Blue Origin flight was fake. I was the one who told you day one. That's not proof that the flight was fake. They were about to open it and let these women come out after the Blue Origin thing, but when the door opened, they stopped them because the women were getting ready and presenting themselves, and
Gail
also
was projectile vomiting probably.
And they were taking selfies together. That's why the door opened and then they slammed it closed. Also, one of the most cringe things that I'm seeing is there's stories, and it's like Katy Perry's 5 makeup items that she took to space. I go, excuse me? Did Katy Perry take time to reapply her mascara while in 0 G's for her most required makeup items for space?
But did one of those brands take time to write out a big fat check?
Yeah, probably
for her to take the makeup item to space.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I just saw some of those stories and go, this is doing worse for you than anything else. All right, when we come back, we've got a bunch to get into on the show today. As I said, Fritz on the street before too long.
Let's go.
We have something that is supposed to cost $2,000 that I wouldn't buy if it were $2.
Oh.
Would you? We'll find out. This brand new item is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, the second clue for the Searcher Ace-Off contest. The Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando drops by for Animal House. We'll talk to Scott Maxwell from the Orlando Sentinel. Tons of great prizes for trivia. 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000, plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Wednesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, our cold front this morning is going to give way to a beautiful afternoon. We're expecting sunshine, pleasant temperatures, a high right around 83 degrees today in Orlando. We'll continue to see pleasant temperatures throughout the end of this week, along with plenty of sunshine, even though we need the rain. Now, for Easter weekend, we are going to be heating up, a high of 87 Saturday and 89 Sunday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic feet all-purpose garden soil. Valid through 4/16. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite. Life-changing dentistry.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at that mortgage guy.
Folks, Skull mic activated. Question for you, chat. Here's your question. Allegedly, they are about to announce and launch a long-awaited, in air quotes, foldable iPhone. This foldable iPhone is allegedly going to cost people over $2,000. Personally, there are a few things I care about less than my phone being foldable. But am I the crazy one here? Would you shell out over $2,000 to have a foldable version of an iPhone? I'm already irritated that I have to formulate website screens and stuff to fit this, which will cost me money in development costs. But does anybody actually want this? Is there a single person that's like, oh my God, finally, the foldable iPhone has arrived? Mr. Predicto, is the foldable iPhone going to be a failure?
You can rely on that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Kiss my ass. No one wants this thing, do they? No, hell no. Worth it? Apple people will buy them. I love my S200 Galaxy. The Samsung's already had foldable phones, I'm almost positive, right? Like, they've had some foldable devices. I just don't think that marketplace works. In fact, I'll go on to call out something that's a larger trend going on. Skinny is over. We don't need our laptops to be any skinnier. We don't need our phones to be any skinnier, thinner, if you will. We don't need our televisions to be any thinner. The technology has maxed out. We have maxed out technology for the moment. For the screens in our home, for the screens in our pockets, for the screens that we stare into with our laptops. The screens aren't really becoming more impressive. So they go, where do we go next? We're thin. Fold. We have to be able to fold. Oh, great. So now I fold the phone over, and then when I sit down on my pocket, I smash the thing. I don't care about a foldable phone. I wouldn't pay $100 or $200 for the foldable iPhone if they released this. All right, we're coming back now.
Let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Occupying the space. I wouldn't even pay $200.
You said $2 earlier.
I wouldn't even pay $2.
You would pay $2.
Well, I would pay $2 for it, but I don't want this at all. Here's my take on where we're at with.
I could pay $2 and then sell it for $1,000 if it's going for $2,000.
Don't think about it like that, please. Don't think about it. You can't resell it, all right? In this fake world here. I have a pretty, I think, normal idea of where we're at in the technology world, but you tell me if you agree with this. I talk to you from a studio surrounded by screens. And Sabrina and C-Lane are in the exact same position. They are surrounded by screens that are showcasing technology that runs this show, The News Junkie, right? We got screens everywhere.
I got 10.
I will tell you that we have maxed out. We have maxed out. Our screens are as thin as they need to be. They are nice. They are vibrant. They are beautiful to look at. They are affordable for the most part. You can get big screen TVs for your house for a great deal. They're nice and thin, and they probably haven't changed very much in the last 5 years. We have maxed out on the screens. We need to find something else where we can advance more and more and more and get those big jaw-dropping moments. We have maxed out on the screens. I don't need my laptop to be any thinner. I don't need it to be a millimeter thinner than it is right now with this MacBook Air that I have in front of me. We have maxed out in that territory. So I think the companies that make all these gadgets and gizmos are sort of flailing. Well, how do we get them to buy a new one other than bricking their phones and making them so slow they're forced to update? How do we get them to buy a new one? What's the new thing? And now they're rumoring, this has been rumored for a bit now, that this iPhone Fold is finally going to be released. And it's going to cost, allegedly, more than $2,000 when they launch this phone. And it's going to be between $2,100 and $2,300 for consumers. And this phone is like an iPhone, but big shocker here, you can fold it in half. Yes, I know. What a breakthrough that this is. I don't know what benefit anyone gets out of that other than, ladies, maybe this is a little easier to fit into some size purses if you want. But I, as a human being, as a consumer, as a gadget lover, don't care at all about having a foldable phone. Not at all. No drive whatsoever to get a phone that is foldable. In fact, I put my phone in my back pocket. So if I have a foldable iPhone, I don't know how that's going to do back there.
Do you have a case on that thing?
Yeah, I got a regular, like, small little case.
Now, you're not really in this kind of category just yet because you still got that old-ass phone.
So old.
But
oldest phone.
That it is. There's more and more people who are raw-dogging their phones these days because they're building them better. I wouldn't do either.
My hands are not used to it. I'll tell you what, you take the case off and all of a sudden I'm like, I guess these fingers are made of butter because I drop it all the time.
I have significantly decreased what the idea of my phone case would be since my first iPhone. Like the first iPhone I got, like the OtterBox, you know, that had, and it was not even like the cheap OtterBox. I got like the one that was gonna just baby my phone, cush my phone through its existence.
Because our hands weren't used to holding it. That makes sense to me. Now, I would be lying if I said there was not a tiny part of me is attracted to the idea of you take the phone out and you flip it open and you're like, hello, this is Sabrina.
For answering calls?
And then you close it right back up. But as far as all the other things that I do with my phone, doesn't really help. Nor do I like did you see the new one from Android where you, like it is a flip phone, but then you open it up and now it's an iPad? I'm like, that is too big. No, thank you.
I don't like it. Yeah, that's not for me. I know you were talking about like taking a call would seem more formidable if you like flipped open the phone and something.
Feel like what it is to hang up on somebody by slapping it shut.
How often are we even on our phones using that feature? We're mostly internet devices is what we're using it for. And I'm not paying over $2,000 to get some flip iPhone. It's just not innovation in an interesting way. It's not what people are looking for. It's so easy to see. You don't have to be a genius where all the innovation is right now. It's in the AI world. I have changed my life in the last 48 months or so, most notably probably in the last 12 or 24 because of AI. AI is everything, yet our devices still suck. The iPhone AI sucks. Alexa AI, don't even get me started at how bad. Like, it doesn't even really exist for the most part.
I don't understand.
So bad. ChatGPT is breakthrough crazy good. Grok from Twitter, X, whatever, crazy good. Not as good as ChatGPT in the image world. And all these things are very, very impressive. And that's going to change the way we do things. Search is RIP, dead. Google, all that stuff in 5 years just will not be. Search, find links, click links. Done, over with. Those are the places where you can innovate. folding phones solves nothing for anybody. And I think it's just a sign that we've reached a dead end in terms of innovation on these devices. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us a dispatch right now. My God.
What happened?
Watching this story out of New York, I feel so bad for this little girl. I'll play this in a second. From CBS 2 in New York, they had this story of this little girl that got attacked by a dog. And now they said there's some problems. They said Daniela Schlouch is the 9-year-old girl in New York. She's lucky to be alive. And her family said she nearly lost an eye and had to have her ear reattached. She had a concussion and has stitches and staples in her head, hand, and foot. And they say that the authorities are acting like the dog has more rights than she does. But let's see. I want to see some of the report from CBS 2 here. Poor girl.
She could have killed me if no one was out there.
9-year-old Daniela Schlau has hundreds of stitches and staples in her head and nearly lost an eye and ear.
They pulled me down to the ground, and it wouldn't let go. I was usually shaking my head right here. Then he let go for a second and started doing it on my head up here.
Oh, my God. This poor girl is, just for the record, not ever going to be okay around dogs. This is going to stick with her.
I can kind of hear in her voice that she hates dogs now.
I don't blame her.
I don't either. But you can almost hear it like, why isn't this dog gone?
Put down? Yeah. Why isn't this dog Rip? I look at this and I go, remember this, dog owners. When you're somewhere in public and you think, my dog's so nice. Why is this person scared of my dog? Stuff like this happens. This is what people get scared.
Locked onto her and wouldn't let go.
Here's Mom.
And my husband jumped on top of the dog.
I jumped on his back and I just held his neck down. And my other daughter pulled his legs up.
Its owner eventually pulled the dog away, telling the family the pit bull got out a back door. There is no backyard fence.
The dog was been known to easily just open the latch in the back door and then escape, which he has done numerous times before.
Daniela suffered a concussion, head, foot, and hand wounds.
Just for the record, enough's enough. Enough's enough. People want to take these stories and go pitbull crazy, and that's fine. I think that's quite a boring topic, especially in the world of talk radio. But you know where I want to put my foot down? If you have a dog and your dog gets out and attacks a little human being of 9 years age, you should be held responsible in exactly the same way if it was you that was attacking that person. It is your responsibility to keep your animals secure and protect the liberty of other people as young as 9 years old. This is what I think is crazy. We can't just go, oh, man, well, it's not their fault. The dog got out. No, if your dog attacks a male person or a little kid or somebody in the neighborhood or another person's dog, you should be held responsible as if that was a weapon of yours. Your dog is to be cared for by you. And when it gets out in the neighborhood, it shouldn't just be like, oh, maybe we'll put down the dog. No, maybe you go to jail. Maybe you go to jail if this happens because
Part
of
of
you.
her ear had to be reattached. She's recovering but traumatized. The family believes the dog is still next door. The owner was issued a summons for an unlicensed dog, must get a dog license and quarantine the dog for 10 days to determine its rabies status.
It feels like that the dog who attacked my sister has more rights than she does right now.
The dog owner could not be reached for comment. The Schlaw family has filed a dangerous dog application claiming it recently chased a child and has viciously approached their front door.
All right, their front door of their house. Look at this. Look at this. They just kind of breezed over that. The front door of their house has what looks to be gashes from possibly this dog scratching at the door, if that's what that actually is. And these people will go, well, I don't know. Here's the position we're in. In New York, you have to have a dog license, but they don't have a dog license. They haven't checked on the dog. The person's not giving away the dog. They're harboring the dog. A 9-year-old got attacked by your animal. You are responsible. Why do we let people get away with this crap? Enough is enough. You see people where like their dogs get out and kill people or maim them. This girl will never be the same as a result of that. And Sun State John and the other folks on chat can go after pitbull. But I don't care what kind of dog it is. If your dog is a Rottweiler or a sheepdog or, God forbid, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Son of a bitch.
Gotcha. A Cavalier King Charles Spaniel like I have. If your dog gets out and attacks another person, you should be held responsible for that.
I mean, Carl's bites wouldn't hurt that bad.
Carl's bites, maybe you say wouldn't hurt, but if
could
Carl
tear up a rat real quick.
If Carl broke out of your house and somehow like jumped up on somebody and bit their face, I think you should be held responsible for Carl getting out, getting away from your control, and attacking somebody, even though Carl is obviously a ridiculously tiny dog.
Here's the thing.
He has a big heart.
If Carl had just torn apart some sort of rodent that was diseased and then, went after some little kid, and now the little kid is diseased.
Maybe that kid was diseased too. Carl has very good instincts.
Gave it to Carl. What do you think about this? Let us know. Do people get off too easy on this? Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us a dispatch right now. Oh, we'll get to your emails in a moment. We got to talk about a bit about looks maxing. I'm looking to get into the business of looks maxing.
Come again?
Going to max out what I got here.
What is that?
These are my looks. I'd like to max them, if at all possible. I don't know.
I didn't know that was possible.
Oh, wow.
I think that
she thought you were at max looks.
That's a compliment, actually. That's a compliment.
I don't know.
Saying you're max good looks.
I don't know if that was the intent, but I'll accept it.
Are we having a
way.
Botox party?
Maybe. I don't know. We're going to talk about all of that and so much more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Traffic slowing down at the Ramp Junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. There's still stop-and-go traffic on I-4 through that Champions Gate area. Look out for an accident on I-4 eastbound before Darrell Carter Parkway. There's a crash on Colonial Drive westbound before State Road 408. On State Road 408, emergency crews are clearing up an accident westbound at Tampa Avenue. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral.
Skull mic activated. Email coming in from Rez. Rez is talking about the video of the Blue Origin story that's up on Facebook.com/thenewsjunkie, which is getting some attention. Just the Facebook page in general gets a lot of attention, honestly. I'm going to keep posting more clips over there because they routinely go into the hundreds of thousands or millions. And why not bring more people in? Arez says, "Hi, how are you? I've sent this message on Facebook." Brief pause. Don't message me on Facebook. When you do, it'll automated response hit you with message me at tips@thenewsjunkie.com. I don't read those. Arez says, "I just saw your video about the fake landing." I don't know if I called it fake. "I've noticed something else and didn't see anybody mentioning it yet. At one point, the person from Blue Origin says that something filled the screen, that the world filled the screen, and then corrected herself to say filled the window. Just a fun fact, smiley face," says Arez. It's all fake. That's how we know. Filled the screen. The Blue Origin was surrounded by screens. Hi?
Did you get the thing I sent you?
No, what'd you send? Oh, the story?
Huh?
What? A text message?
Yeah.
Oh, I just now got it. Oh, okay. Do I have to get it right now?
Today.
Okay. This is what you're interrupting me for?
Yes. Oral health is important.
Okay, I'll get the 5% coupon. Is it coupon or coupon?
Coupon.
Coupon? I think it's not coupon?
I say coupon.
Coupon.
I think it's like pecan. What is it? Praline? No, it's
Praline?
praline, pecan,
Pecan, coupon?
coupon.
Okay, hang on. I
Great
accidentally put
coupon.
2 in my cart. I gotta take 1 out. Don't you already have one of these things?
Yeah, I've had it for over a year. It's $40.
You want it today?
Yeah.
$37.95.
Yeah.
Because I got a 5% discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
They cost like $300 at Costco.
$300?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going for a run.
Okay, be safe out there, please.
Thank you.
All right.
You can turn off the fish tank light.
Oh, he's done?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm gonna send you something on my run.
No.
Yeah.
What, a meme?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
It better be a good meme, otherwise I'm not going to look at it.
Look at it.
Get out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Feral Kitten says, are you two going to see Sinners? Sinners, I know I've seen something for that, but I don't remember the trailer. Yeah, I mean, I think I remember seeing that, and I think I remember being interested in it, but I do not remember the trailer. Who's in it? Or is there is it a plot thing? Is like the plot interesting? Michael B. Jordan. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the one with Michael B. Jordan and that director that he works with all the time. I don't know, maybe. I don't mind Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a good actor, but I don't know too much more about it. I know that The Lady in the Yard is out, but that one has been pretty controversial. It's an interesting one. Amanda says, I'm going to see Sinners date night this weekend. It looks so good. Ladies geared up for Michael B. Jordan. Is that a draw? Michael B. Jordan? Platinum says, talking about the plot will give away too much, best to go in blind. I like to do that, honestly, whenever possible. We want to see Drop, which I know is kind of just cheesy, silly movie, but that one looks kind of fun. I like the lower budget movies like that. That only costs 11 mil or something to make. I think they've already made most of it back. And I want to talk about The Woman in the Yard. But I can't really. I feel like people will get mad about because you cannot talk about and criticize The Woman in the Yard, the movie that's kind of out on demand now, I believe, without spoiling it. But spoiling it is part of the interesting conversation around it. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's why I haven't waded into those waters. But The Woman in the Yard is an interesting conversation to have about what the plot points were. Okay, folks. We are coming back.
Or a whole house filtration system from Pure Touch Water Filters. Get more details and enter all 4 of these contests at realradio.fm/contests.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money, M-O-N-E-Y, money. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is the
Never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. A radio show, live stream, and podcast where things go a bit differently. We move fast around here, and we always welcome new people just like you on board. So, welcome. Want to learn more about all of us? Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. There's a story out today, and they're suggesting that Canadians hate America so much now that they do not want to travel to the United States of America anymore. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I know they're already lying to us, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Because this story, this is from the CBC, and that's a broadcast outlet in Canada that I'm looking at here in front of me, says nearly 900,000 fewer people went to the U.S. in March as cross-border travel plummets. One of the worst year-over-year drops recorded outside of COVID-19. And they're suggesting, when you see this drop right here, from 4.97 million people traveling from Canada to the U.S. to 4.1 million, they're suggesting that means the Canadians are mad. And they don't want to come over to our country right now on account of we've had some talks about taking over their country, right? So
is it, by any chance, have we compared it to the other years around this time? Like maybe it's just not a... Okay.
Yes, this is compared to last year. What you're looking at right now on the left is 2024, this graph right here.
The cost of it all.
This is 2025.
So quick to make a decision like that when everyone has, family and friends on both sides, no?
The Canadians are saying, according to this article, which again I believe is not accurate, but I'll tell you why in a second. They're saying over 900,000 fewer people went to the U.S. from Canada. This is part of a larger narrative. And that narrative is, hey, Trump has done so many things that are nasty and bad that people don't even want to travel to the U.S. anymore, which is not visible, certainly not in a very tourist city like the one we broadcast from in Orlando here, right? Like there's plenty of tourists absolutely everywhere in this city, and certainly are in a lot of other big cities across the country. The thing that I found interesting that they don't mention anywhere in the story is if you look at the United States headed into Canada, it also has dropped at almost the same amount. Canadians traveling into the United States of America has dropped 9%. U.S. citizens traveling into Canada has dropped 8%, only a 1% difference back and forth. And I don't have to shock you when I tell you that there's more Americans than there are Canadians by a wide margin.
What?
But they're going both ways.
But they have so much land.
Going both ways are reducing things. You know what my theory is? I don't think many Canadians are like boycotting travel to the U.S. at all. I think it's been miserably cold. Yeah. This has been a cold, cold winter in the United States of America, and they used to go, well, we can dip down and go to like Chicago for the day and warm up a bit and get out of this Canadian weather. I think that has had a bigger impact than anything. But the stories that are meant to fulfill the prophecy of the media, like this one, that Trump went after Canada, so now Canada hates us and they're not coming here anymore, and tourism is dead, and we're going to lose all these tourism dollars, those are nonsense. Because they just mentioned one side of this. Yes, 900,000 fewer people went from Canada to the U.S., but also the reverse was true. Are U.S. citizens mad at Canada?
Some of them are. I think some of them are a little pissed. You hate Canada.
Some of everybody is mad at everything, first of all. Second of all, I don't hate Canada. My family comes from Canada not that long ago. I get Canada. I get why you're mad about what Trump is saying and all of that stuff. I get it, all right? I totally understand it. What I don't think is the case is that in this battle we have going back and forth, the United States is getting dunked on because we're so reliant on this Canadian tourism that is just plummeting and free falling, and the U.S. is like still, doing the opposite. It's just not true. These are dishonest headlines, but who's surprised about that? Not me. Not at this point in time. All right, we got more to talk about, including I got to pay off this since we mentioned it earlier. There is a big change coming potentially for your social media, right? Big change coming for your social media. And I'll tell you,
Instagram story, y'all see this?
One thing that I find interesting is Facebook's new feature. I kind of dig it. I think it's the best thing they've done in a long time.
What's the new feature?
Facebook has a thing on the app now where if you're on your personal profile and you click the button on the bottom next to home, it says friends, and it only shows you posts that are directly from your friends. There's not a bunch of group stuff in there. There's not a bunch of people like hating Elon Musk or fight videos or like that kind of nonsense. It's just from your circle of friends, which I have found to be better. I like that as an improvement over what it was before this, I think. All right. And now we have more changes headed that way. because the feds are saying that Meta is a monopoly. Their trial is kicked off this week. The Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, is arguing that the Facebook owner bought Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2024 to squash emerging competitive threats to Mark Zuckerberg's social media empire. The case has started under Trump's first term. It carried on under Biden's FTC, and now it's carrying on again under Trump for his second term here. And the regulator accuses Meta of engaging in a buy or bury ploy to eliminate its social networking rivals. I think it's going to be one of the biggest antitrust cases we've seen in decades. They're going after Meta for being a monopoly. You can't have Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp and Threads all at the same time. Fine. I think the bigger thing that you should really go after these companies for is limiting spread of content. And honestly, I'm coming at this from a non-vested perspective. On the Facebook page for The News Junkie, my Facebook page, facebook.com/The News Junkie, the content on there gets ton of spread, lots of attention, millions of views over the course of a month. Lots and lots of attention. But if you're like a mom and pop restaurant and you market and you build up and you get 10,000 followers on the platform, I feel like if somebody followed you and you post something, they should see the thing that you post. You might spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to build up this social following. And then when you post it, your posts get like 5 views because you're not yelling about Elon Musk or whatever thing out there is firing people up. That, I think, would be a bigger issue. But they think this is an antitrust case. Friends, if Meta is in an antitrust case with Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads, Google is absolutely, positively in a monopoly situation with Google Search and YouTube and all the other platforms that they have. And the same could be said for a lot of the other major companies out there. But do you think they're too big? Let us know your thoughts. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send a dispatch right now. Let's see what we get here from you. We'll work in a couple of dispatches. Actually, a lot of people chiming in via email about the dogs. Here is Hank, we'll say. All right. Hank says to tips@thenewsjunkie.com about this young girl who got attacked by a dog. I said, forget about arguing about pit bulls and all this stuff. Dog owners should be responsible for the damage done by their dogs. And I'm talking criminally responsible. If your dog gets out and attacks a 7-year-old or a 9-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 40-year-old and does damage, and it's your fault that they got out of the house because you didn't secure your pet, you should pay for that. And you should criminally be prosecuted for that. Hank says, I completely agree with you. I've been jumped on by loose dogs in the past. And my dog was attacked also by loose dogs. If your dog is loose and approaches me aggressively, I should be able to kill them, for God's sake. I think you are in many cases. I think you are. Kathy says to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, I deliver mail, and I was bitten by a wiener dog on the back of my calf. It hurt, says Kathy. And a lot of other people were talking about different sized dogs and the aggression from them, like the whole pit bull comparison. I, again, don't care what breed it is. Take control of your animals. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Here's Swilly talking about dogs. Hello.
Hey, everybody. Happy today.
Hey.
So loose dogs is kind of a sore topic for me. I used to live in a neighborhood where we had a pair of routine offenders that would escape and terrorize the neighborhood, and they killed my roommate's little kitten.
Damn. Brutal.
So I have a very firm opinion that if your dog is outside of your property, it needs to be on a leash. I don't care how old your dog is, how sweet your dog is, how well trained your dog is. I don't give a rat's ass. If it's not inside your house, it needs to be on a goddamn leash.
Yeah, I only have minor issues with that. I don't disagree with you. However, from my anecdotal experience, we have a park not far from our house, and there's a couple of dogs that run around this park. Beautiful, beautiful dogs. And they're big dogs. And they're dogs that are bred to run, to get activity.
Born to run, Bruce would
They
say.
are born to run, a la Bruce Springsteen. Yes, they are born to run. And on a leash, you can't really get them the exercise that they need necessarily.
Unless you're, like, spinning around with them, running alongside. That makes sense.
maybe there's like a gadget that works for this that you plant in the ground at the park and leashes them up so they can run around.
Taser.
But the dogs that we have in the neighborhood that do that, from my experience, have been well behaved. I'm more worried about outcomes, as always. And the outcomes are, if your dog is not chained up or leashed, then you're responsible 1,000% for what your dog does. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the dogs that are just running around are incredibly well behaved. They don't come after me or my dog, and I'm fine with it. But if they do,
but you don't know. Yeah.
If they do, then they should be responsible.
I'm dealing with this right now in my neighborhood where there is this, just the sweetest Weimaraner. And I know every time, and since I've moved there, off leash and extremely sweet to any other dogs, stays with its owner. Now I have another couple down the street that just got 2 dogs, and now they're doing our off leash training. Mm-hmm. And I have not only stopped a car from hitting them, but I had to immediately pick up Carl because I have already seen an interaction between their dog and others. And I'm like, please don't put me in the situation where I have to kick your dog.
Yeah, shouldn't that be in a park?
It's so unfair to me.
Couldn't they do that in like a gated in dog park or something? It seems like
their gated yard, but I'm like, you know that your dog's going to take off. So just because you're sitting on the porch and you're like, come on, Bella, come on, doesn't mean your dog's not going to come attack mine.
People don't feel enough responsibility for that. I don't know why, but they don't. Chris emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Excuse me.
Nice.
Apologies.
That's a new website.
C-Line, edit that out of the show, please.
All right.
Thank you. Good morning, C-Line.
Has to be an auto-tune, by the way.
There you go. He's editing it out. You won't hear that.
Folks.
The audience won't hear that. We're going to edit that out. We're very professional. Mm-hmm. Good morning, C-Lane. It's Chris from Bolarama. I'm the one who tried to bribe you for Fritz on the street.
Correct. I remember that.
What?
I appreciate your character and not taking the bribe, they said. If you'd still like to pick me, I'd appreciate it. Love the show. Listen every day. Thanks, Chris.
P.S. Check your Venmo.
I'm going to put it out there. C-Lane can accept, deny, whatever. It's up to him. More people asking to be picked for Fritz on the street. We'll miss those for now, but let's see here. Josh emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. He says, if you self-deport, it doesn't count as deportation, so you can come back under current immigration law.
Yeah, it's just leaving.
He highlights voluntary departure versus deportation. If you're granted voluntary departure, you leave the U.S. without receiving a formal removal order. This option is typically available to individuals who meet specific criteria, such as demonstrating good moral character and the financial means to depart. Importantly, voluntary departure does not carry the same legal consequences as deportation and may make it easier to return legally in the future. In contrast, if you're ordered deported and removed by ICE, that removal becomes part of your immigration record. This can trigger reentry bans of 5, 10, or even 20 years, depending on the circumstances. So I guess another benefit for people self-deporting. Are they doing that? That remains to be seen. I could tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I haven't gotten one anonymous email from an illegal immigrant just yet.
Check your spam folder.
I get a lot of email, but here we are regardless. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to wait to hear from you, illegal or otherwise. Send us a dispatch or an email. tips@thenewsjunkie.com is the email side. And thenewsjunkie.com. Follow the record options for your dispatch. Looks maxing. I didn't get to it. But Sabrina says I'm looks maxed out. I'm already as good as it gets over here. Although, I don't know. I mean, I've seen people, like, there's exercises you could do to, like, lift things and
tools and stuff. It looks kind of painful.
And, like, the beard is a very key thing for guys looks maxing. The beard is a huge thing of import.
But you refuse.
I don't have as cool of a beard as C-Lane.
You don't know that. You've never tried to grow as long as I have.
Yeah, but my beard is now, I think, 5 colors. It's black, blonde, orange, or red, whatever you'd like to call it. Gray.
You're a calico beard.
It's a calico. It really is. And that's not a good look. That's kind of weird looking, honestly.
No,
kids
man.
will run in fear.
It's just he needs that winter break that we have so that he's not on camera, if he can help himself for 2 weeks, and then you'll know what it is to have, beyond the 5 o'clock.
And then you can get some shape into that thing. Maybe a little balm or some oil.
The only thing, here's the only way I can explain this to you guys. When my hair gets long enough, and boy, are we close. So it starts to curl and touch the back of my ear or like my neck or any other places like that,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me almost immobile. I hate it. I can't stand it. I feel gross. It's like
you just got to get through the awkward phase.
It's like that on my face with a beard, though. I can't do it. I will get further into that. We got updates on that Carmelo Anthony story that we've been following. Not the basketball player, as you know, the Austin Metcalf stabber, if you will. And a whole bunch more. The next episode is coming up in a bit. Fritz on the Street is coming up in a bit, so do not miss out on any of this fun. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
What is everybody on that this is the look?
What do you mean, like the scrunchies around their
Like
legs?
big old hair scrunchies, mom jeans. It's like just bad.
Man, you don't know what you're...
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I'm getting all horny just thinking about it.
Okay.
You're listening to the Monsters in the Morning.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic slowing down at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line due to an accident. There's still slowdowns on I-4 through that Champions Gate area. Look out for an accident on I-4 eastbound before Darrell Carter Parkway. There's a crash on State Road 408 westbound near Tampa Avenue. Look out for an accident on Maitland Boulevard near Forest City Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
Orlando's premier comedy club and restaurant is the Funny Bone, located at Point Orlando. This week, the Funny Bone welcomes Nick Swartzen, April 18th and 19th. Check our star-studded calendar and showtimes online at orlando.funnybone.com. Full kitchen and bar available, as well as parking discounts for all guests. Follow us on all social media platforms and get your tickets now at orlando.funnybone.com. We'll see you at the show.
Celebrate 30 years of Tijuana Flats epic meal deals. Now, you know them for Taco Tuesday. They've made every day special now. Get Dos Tacos, chips, and a drink for only $8.88 every day.
Anywhere. Go to Wassie's Meat Market. They'll deliver and set up your Big Green Egg so that you'll be cooking before they leave. Follow Wassie's Meat Market on Instagram or go to the website, wassiesmeatmarket.com for your Big Green Egg today.
Let's make it easy breezy. RC Hill here. I'm making car buying easy again. You could drive a nice new car for just $3 down. Because this month, it's a breeze to get keys. So if your old ride blows, I'll pay you way over appraised value regardless of miles or condition. Plus save up to $10,000 on a new Mitsubishi with a lifetime warranty. You could even drive the redesigned.
Let's go, Mike.
They just announced new show based on Am I the Asshole subreddit.
Okay.
And as we talk about it, are we going to get...
Okay, hang on one sec. Sorry.
RCHill.com. That's RCHill.com.
Credit and $3 down. Require bank approval. Trade value up to 120% of KBP. Offer ends April 30, 2025.
Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door.
Skull mic activated. For real this time. We need a lady dog mic. I have bad news for you. If we had a lady dog mic, you wouldn't hear much. If we had a lady dog cam, you would just see Lady in her bed laying down. Because that's all she does in that room. Right now, guarantee you $8 billion on the line. She's just laying down, chilling in there. Living her maxed out life. She, like many other dogs, sleeps a lot. She's quite the sleeper. She's got a schedule. She loves to stick with her schedule. She walks for 2 miles every single day. She loves life. But I worry about her because Lady, with these dogs coming out that we're talking about, like these aggressive dogs, Lady would run right up to the most aggressive dog in the world. She has no instilled fear in her at all from socializing. She would run up and then be subservient to any aggressive dog. Absolutely, every time she would do that. All right, we're coming back.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The free iHeartRadio app just made spring break and Easter holiday travel better for the whole family. Sing along with playlists like Disney hits.
Can I get a
Dance to today's pop hits on Hit Nation Junior. And learn something new with podcasts like Wow in the World.
Scientists were working on self-driving cars in 1939.
iHeartRadio, because every family road trip deserves a great soundtrack. Open the iHeartRadio app, search family, and listen now.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junkie.
NewsJunkie.com. Gift Secret Show subs. Everyone is a magnet in return. Every gifted sub is a magnet in return. Open up the world of uncensored secret shows for other listeners. Do it now at thenewsjunkie.com. Is this fair? Is this a fair way for somebody who's being paid by taxpayer dollars to operate? And this is something that we do not scrutinize enough, by the way. We have all these conversations where we go, I don't want this done in my neighborhood. I want that done. I want this done. This isn't good in our neighborhood. That isn't good enough. We don't scrutinize things like where the money is going necessarily, and then the projects that happen. One of the things that is just so infuriating to me is currently there's a lot of street construction going on around me, and I know how it works. The companies sign on for a construction deal. They say it'll take 1 year to complete. They start out with 2 months of work. For 8 months, they sit on their asses and twiddle their thumbs because they said it would take a year, and they can't do it faster than that. And then for a couple of months at the end, they rapid finish the rest of the work and get it done. And taxpayer dollars pay for them to sit on their ass in the meantime.
That's kind of what I do at home, though. Like,
yeah, but that's not taxpayer dollars. You're not getting taxpayer
he
dollars.
has his ways. C-Lane has his ways.
I think this is crazy. Here's what's happening here. A woman who gets paid by taxpayers in San Diego, Whale's Vagina, in California. This woman makes $300,000 a year in San Diego. Okay, that's fine. But I don't think you're going to be fine with how she works for that $300,000 a year. That's my big thing here. This woman is an assistant city attorney in San Diego, California. She has been granted permission to do her work from abroad. She is currently making that $300,000 a year in taxpayer money as an assistant city attorney on a luxury cruise ship that is touring the world right now.
Nice.
For research.
She's been on an epic high seas adventure since late January. After agreeing to stay on her position instead of retiring, she said, hey, I want to go cruise the world. And they said, don't worry, we'll still pay you. It's like work from home, but you're going to be working from this cruise ship. The trip was approved by her boss, the city attorney, a Democrat, who said despite the fact she's at sea and believed to be many time zones removed, she gets her work done. And she's in constant communication, she alleges, right? And when contacted by Daily Mail via her work email, They got a bounce back that said, "Thank you for your email. I'm out of office today. I don't have access to email or voicemail, and I'll return on the next day," it said. And Jordan included her colleague's email address, which had an incorrect spelling of her name. So some other things were messed up there. She's out there on the high seas. She's cruising the world and getting paid on taxpayer dollars. Now, should that be happening? Is it possible that government employees could be on a cruise ship cruising the world and still not wasting our money?
Well, do they have the Wi-Fi package?
Well, because all I care about, this will come up again and again and again on this show, is you see how I think in the way that I think. I don't think based on what I hear people tell me. I don't formulate my opinion based on what other people are saying. I think about outcomes. So technically, I would be fine with this. If C-Lane went on a cruise around the world and did this show every day in the exact same way, everything was the same. The quality was the same. His interactions were the same. Video and audio quality were indecipherable and indistinguishable.
Probably have some cool stories, you know?
Cool stories from the high seas, all that stuff. Why on earth would I care whether he was here or on the high seas doing it? So technically, I don't care. Well, that's what I just said. I said, if the quality of the work is exactly the same, there's no reason why you should care. No reason. So it's fine, in my book, for somebody getting paid taxpayer dollars if they're traveling the world on a cruise, as long as they're getting all of the same work done. Do I believe that they're still getting the same workload done, though? I don't know about that. I think, in particular, it would be difficult to keep up that workload and be 3 time zones, 4 time zones away and be on a cruise ship trying to enjoy the ports on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or another day. MPWS says, let her live, man. Well, I want her to live. She wanted to retire and do this. I only have one thing. There should be some sort of barometer that determines the amount of work done and the quality of work done. And as long as you can live up to that.
There's plenty of barometers, Sean. She's on a luxury cruise ship. They got plenty of sophisticated equipment to make sure that the weather's good.
Yes. Is her Wi-Fi good? Sure. Can she do a team meeting? Maybe. What if it's 3 o'clock in the morning where she is? Is she still doing that? Is she still getting all the work done?
You would have to kind of adhere to the time zone that you left, no matter what, it would seem.
What if you just clock in the hours? There's like almost a timestamp moment.
Well, I think that's what C-Lane's saying. How hard would that be? Let's say it's 9 to 5 here, Sabrina, and then you're in Singapore in the waters you're in the waters off Japan. Let's say, okay,
where
you've made your way over to Japan. You're in the waters off Japan. What's the time difference between here and Tokyo, C-Lane? Can we look that up real quick?
It is
12, 13.
It's like 11 or 13
What
hours.
is the time difference between the East Coast of the United States and Tokyo? We'll ask AI just to get the answer here from TNJ AI. I think it's 12 hours. It's a long ways, but so your 9 to 5 would literally be
the East Coast of the United States is generally 14 hours behind Tokyo.
14 hours.
However, this can vary by 1 hour depending on whether daylight saving time is in effect.
Okay, so it's about 14 hours. That is the difference. If you're over by Japan, you would have a 14-hour difference between you and your worker.
Japan!
So you're going to be working from, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m.? I think I might have got the times are wrong there. You'll be working from a time slot
it's
that's
1:30 in
hours
the morning there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And like right now would be sort of the middle of your day. Nobody's going to be offsetting that much. Otherwise, the world cruise doesn't matter to you. Congratulations. We've boarded in Japan.
Japan!
Okay. Can't do anything. Got to sleep. I was working all day.
The taxpayer dollars is the problem.
That is the problem that people are going to find because if it's a private company, who cares? But I don't even care as long as the work's getting done. Don't care. Don't care if Sabrina is in Maui or
Aloha.
at HQ.
Brother.
As long as the audio quality and the video quality are exactly the same or better, then who cares? You should never care about that stuff. The work just needs to get done.
The person complaining, I haven't read the whole thing. I'm just kind of hunting and pecking through this article. Says it's not just about whether the work gets done. It's about the message it sends the rank and file employees.
What's the message? What's the message of the thing?
The message is that
you don't have to be here?
Yeah, I guess.
Kevin on YouTube says, it's like working for iHeart from the comfort of your garage while everybody else has to go to the office. Well, I've just told you that they don't. I've just told you that they don't. And from my perspective, nothing changes as long as the work gets done. That's not good for all jobs, though. Do you work at a Denny's? I'm sorry, you can't do that. You can't work from home and work at a Denny's. You can't work from home and work at the YMCA. You can't work from home and do particular jobs. But if there are jobs where you can work from home, or better yet, remote, because I would like that better.
We thought for a long time that you could not work from home and do this job.
Yeah, that was the actual case for a while. We didn't have the technology necessarily. But
she's only on this thing for 4 months. I think that kind of changes it a little bit.
Because it's not permanent?
Yeah.
At least not for now.
She got a promotion just before she went on this absence.
We ran into some people at Disney Springs the other day, and this couple was sitting there not talking to each other at all. And I'm like, damn, some of these couples never talk. They must hate each other. Must have ran out of things to talk about. Finally, the woman talks to the bartender, and she goes, my husband retired 4 months ago, and the day after he retired, we've been on a road trip. And I go, oh, I see what happened. You guys have literally run out of things to talk about. You are done, stuck in a car or an RV with each other. And maybe it works like that. But let's see. What do you think? Should this lady be able to work and get paid taxpayer dollars like this? Let us know. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Katy Perry and others and their trip to space continues to stir up controversy. And now let's add some beef. Some free-range Wendy's and non-GMO Kesha beef, to be exact. If you've been wondering why your female cat has some swollen AF mam glands, blame Dolly Parton. Plus, Hollywood is spinning the wheel of other people's ideas we stole from the internet, and now we've got a new game show. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9, it's Real Laughs, followed by Real Music Weekends at 10 on Real Radio 104.1 and on your free iHeartRadio app.
A sunny and seasonable Wednesday is on the way across Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And afternoon temperatures today will be right around normal with a high of 83 degrees today in Orlando. We'll be expecting a good amount of sunshine, nice and dry, although we still do need the rain. As we head towards the end of this week, highs will stay right around the mid-80s before we heat things up, especially by Easter Sunday, a high of 89. 90s return for our Monday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio.
Skull mic. Skull mic activated. Hot mic territory. Folks, the next episode is next, obviously. After that, Fritz on the street. So we'll have to determine who's representing who on the show. Don't forget, I would love to see you gift secret shows. Do that at thenewsjunkie.com/gift. For every single gifted sub, you will get yourself a magnet. It's as easy as that. Gifted sub equals gifted magnet. Right back to you. After you gift your subscription, which you can do by clicking the gift icon on thenewsjunkie.com or going to thenewsjunkie.com/gift, you'll see a form to fill out with your name and address, and I will send those to you. I've got a desk full. They'll be processed this week. Thank you. Fritz on the street. Feeling relatively decent about my chances today. Feeling good about my chances. I don't know if I'm going to win, but I'll at least be in the competition. That much is sure. Also, I am very upset with Courtney right now because she texted, "I'm a felon," sad face, to my phone. And I said, "You're a felon?" She's on a run. So what the hell did you do? Well, you're a felon? And she said, "I fell in love with you." And I instantly blocked her. So you won't be hearing about her on the show any longer. That's over. You won't be hearing about Dortney. That's toast. I cannot stand by and let something like that happen. It was a pivotal moment. So, ladies, I'm single now. The hippie woe Vicky said, "I looked up Courtney and she does have a warrant." Where's this going? Weren't you gonna be the one I fell in love with? Weren't you the one who was gonna give your heart to me? Fell in love with you. Boo! Kind of cute though. Ryan said, "Oh, I thought it was the hit and run at bowling." No. She didn't hit anybody at bowling. She just drove over the parking spot in her car and then had to drive the rest of the way over it in front of a large crowd that was fixated on her mistakes. Weren't you going to put on some shoes today? Why do you people want to see me with shoes so bad? Just take it all in. Take a look at that, huh? Take it all in. We're coming back.
Makers Wanted campaign. Did you know that everyone has the power to make a wish come true? Even you. It's as easy as sharing your time, talent, or treasure. But most importantly, taking action to support Wish Kids. As long as children continue to face devastating critical illnesses, they'll be counting on the support of wishmakers like you. Get started today at wishmaker.org.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
With us, friends. We'll see what's happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Shortly after that, Fritz on the Street, the greatest game in all of radio on the show. Don't forget, you can follow all of us. Every single one of us is part of this show at thenewsjunkie.com/share. thenewsjunkie.com/share. Go over there, give us a follow, and then support what's happening with everybody on the show, no matter what they're up to, not just me. Every single person has something going on their schedule, and a follow doesn't cost you anything. So go to thenewsjunkie.com/share right now. Let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it. Even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. ThatmortgageguyDon.com. That's his website. And that's where you change your life. in the best of ways. He has a wonderful page, multiple pages if you click the things, but it's very easy to navigate through. It's chock full of information for you. Making big life decisions like refinancing or buying a first home, work with someone who has created the path. And any question you have direct access to Don himself. So get the process started today by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat.
Come on.
Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Also, welcome to the program, Fritzy, everybody. Massive congratulations to this man. We have an awarded composer amongst us.
Nice.
Friends.
Wow.
You guys went over this yesterday or something?
No.
I just actually, we did talk about it on the show, but
my personal congratulations.
Thank you.
To winning Composer of the Century.
Yeah. Wow. I
in
knew
my
it.
heart. But what
It's
was
a very quick climb up that ladder.
the official title?
It was best score for the OIF. It's a Organization of International Filmmakers.
And how many points on the board?
1. Yeah, I got 1 point for that one.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
32 years ago.
I don't know what that means. But
1993, one of the guys from this group right here.
Green Day. Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
Van Halen is right. And David Lee Roth arrested on this day for buying what?
David Lee Roth buying a menorah.
No.
Sex worker.
No.
Cocaine.
Mm-mm. So close.
Heroin.
Crack.
No.
Crack cocaine.
Just this.
Reefers.
Marijuanas.
Reefer in a
Boring.
New York park. The judge later ordered...
Boring.
I mean, these
Fritz is like, you're a rock star. Talk to me when you get a little further into it, okay?
You want to get wet, man?
It was in a New York park. The judge later ordered the charges dropped if DLR remained clean for a year. No update on that.
Fritz with the old drug throwbacks. That's like
Speed.
Wiki sticks, getting wet, all those
I thought
things.
wet was PCP.
Yeah, PCP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
What's a different definition for us now? Monday's Blue Origin flight to space-ish. A lot of controversy and a lot of fun jokes.
True.
On the internet. Even celebrities have been getting their dump on as far as the jokes. We have Olivia Munn, Olivia Wilde, Emily.
The rare team up of both of the hot Olivias there.
Yep. I wish I could have come up with a better title for them immediately. Emily Ratajkowski.
That's a tough last name. I always stumble into that one,
But
too.
you know when I start to say it, who that is.
Ratajkowski? Ratajkowski.
And Amy Schumer. And now, of all people, or places, or corporations, Wendy's is getting in on the beatdown. Wendy's, the fast food chain, has taken a shot at Katy Perry.
All right. What'd they say?
They posted a picture of Katy and said she had returned from space. Pop craved Twitter, to be exact. And Wendy's commented saying, can we send her back?
Oh, Wendy's. Come on.
Bad Wendy's. Bad. So Wendy's has beef with Katy Perry for some reason. And it doesn't end there because Kesha also decided to get what they're calling a lick in.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of wet. By posting a picture of herself smiling and drinking from a Wendy's cup. So got him.
Oh, does she not like Katy Perry? Is there a Kesha Katy Perry fight?
Some people are speculating that it has like the Dr. Luke tie-in.
Okay,
Because
all right.
it was the Kesha, the Dr. Luke, and then Katy Perry.
Didn't Katy Perry have a new song that Dr. Luke, everybody was kind of pissed at her about that?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
As someone who does entertainment news, I
Yeah, I
kind of
think you're
skip
right.
over the Dr. Luke stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point,
What an enabler.
you either know what I do.
Silence is violence.
You better believe it.
Uh-huh.
But my silence is just confusion. Because it seems like half the people are still going to work with him, either contractually obligated or they're like,
Yeah.
forget all the abuse. He puts on a good show. I do not know. But
He knows how to work that
thanks,
laptop.
Wendy's, for getting involved. And just in case you're a fan of this right here,
Pokemon.
it could save your life.
Pokemon?
It was reported that Pokemon trading card decks are so sturdy that it could block a damn bullet. And one lucky fan is here to give his testament.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
I thought for a second one lucky fan was going to try it out because that seems like dangerous.
Yeah, the opposite of lucky.
A fan shared online, and there's no way to back it up. We're going to go with the story. Am I right, Dr. Luke? And how their own Pokemon collection that was in their chest pocket of a T-shirt stopped a bullet. Yep.
Wow.
Fan known as Lolane Slacks 88 on Reddit. They didn't have the cards in their breast pocket like you might think, but I guess it did act as a shield at some point. They explained on the Pokemon trading card game subreddit, Who's Horny, that they were asleep at home when they were awoken by loud explosions. Apparently a common enough occurrence for Lolo Lane Slacks 88 to assume that these were gunshots fired by their neighbor, au contraire. Jeez. They believe the neighbor had accidentally fired their gun towards the house because they found a hole in their wall next to Tupperware that contained the Pokemon card collection.
What?
Upon inspecting the bin, they found the bullet had been stopped by one of the card decks.
Ooh, which one?
That is a
card?
great question,
Yeah.
because could you imagine,
Charizard.
like, the most expensive card? Like, they could have been a millionaire, and instead they just have the story on Reddit. They say 9mm bullet inside the box. If it hadn't been there, it could have struck me. I'm okay. But I now count Incineroar. Incineroar.
Oh, Incineroar. Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
Incineroar.
Yep.
As my guardian angel Pokemon, and I've never been happier to have piles of cardboard in my box.
This is such a nerdy joke, but it made me laugh. Got Crypto on Twitch said the Pokemon card deck used block. It was super effective.
This is the Pokemon that blocked the bullet. Looks tough. Looks like it could block a bullet.
All day.
What
was
like
right
a tiger-looking thing? A flaming tiger? I don't know.
Love to know the deck after that. Like, thank God it didn't hit the one that's going to send my great-grandkids to college or something like that. But if you want your cats to go to college, be aware. Terrible segue, because cats don't go to college. But apparently, according to science, Dolly Parton syndrome is something that cats are suffering from.
What's that? Dolly Parton syndrome?
Take a guess.
The cats are upset that the owners are working from 9 to 5?
That's a guess, actually. It's just a guess.
All right.
That's a clever guess.
Yeah.
The cat's boobs are getting big.
C-Lane, you're on target. It turns out that there is a disease called Dolly Parton syndrome that affects female cats. It's officially called feline mammary hypertrophy. So huge cat boobs, essentially.
Can humans get it too?
Ask your mom.
I guess Dolly Parton got it.
It was an automatic response. It was an automatic response.
About my dead mom's boobs? Yeah.
To minimize the risk, vets recommend getting your female cats spayed at a young age. If not, they're going to have those DPBs. On the boob tube, we got the Masked Singer, Final 6 perform. And to which I ask, who are the others?
They didn't. No, like none of this came up my radar. There was one performer that got unmasked that I saw, but I didn't know any of the rest.
What was the one performer?
I forgot. Hang on, I'm searching it right now.
And I'll be damned if Fox 35 asks us to go back and review the show. I'll know everything about the Masked Singer. We have the series premiere of Sherlock and Daughter. Blue Hunt is going to be starring the American in the show. Everybody's Live with John Mulaney. David Letterman's going to be on there, and Rashida Jones will be on Kimmel. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. And most importantly, say it with me, you cats with big boobs.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. When we return, it's going down, friends. Fritz on the streets. The greatest game in all of radio, and you could get your hands on this right here. It's the FOTS Hitman Magnet, and the only way to get one of these, unless you have a VIP connection to Fritz, is for you to win, and we got to pick you as our person to represent Fritz on the street. So maybe that happens for you. Now it's time for you to get our attention. Message us on social or in chat or wherever else you want to message the show, and we'll pick somebody. When we come back, we'll fight for those people against each other. Fritz on the street. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
There's an accident slowing down traffic on Orange Blossom Trail where it meets Land Street. Congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Look out for an accident on I-4 eastbound before Darrell Carter Parkway off to the shoulder. There's a crash on State Road 408 westbound at Tampa Avenue. Travel with caution on the roadways this afternoon. They're getting busy. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest is going on now at Lowe's, but it won't last long. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. Valid.
Skull mic activated. Who am I picking? First things first, who am I picking? Am I picking somebody from Twitch or YouTube? Twitch or YouTube? I'm going from one of those platforms. Once we lock in the platform, we'll lock in the person. Twitch or YouTube? I'm going to look in 15 seconds. And the one of those options that I see the most on the chat stream will be the platform that I pick. Twitch or YouTube? 10 seconds. I'm going to look, and if I see one more than the other, I'm picking that platform, and then we'll pick somebody from it. Twitch or YouTube? Twitch or YouTube? Here we go. Twitch just edged out YouTube in the sneak peek that I took. Twitch. Who am I picking over on Twitch? Give me 3 words that should grab my attention. 3 words. You can say anything you want. 3 words. And whatever you write, I'll pick one of them. 3 words. What do you got for me? Limp wrist handshake? Sean is nice. We shared balls. Sean's so funny. No one cares. Pick me ho. Fun times amigo. Ghost bird. Bilingual. In the most basic bitch of ways. Ghost bird, I am not choosing you. I am picking BDMP. Sean is right. A perpetually correct statement. A good way to suck up. I know you don't believe it, but it works. BDMP. I will be representing you in Fritz on the Street. Just 3 minutes from right now, I will be representing BDMP. Let me write that down on my sheet. BDMP on Twitch. Now, we must do it. We must ask Mr. Predicto if I am going to win Fritz on the Street today. And Mr. Predicto is never wrong. Give me some luck here, Mr. Predicto. Am I going to win Fritz on the Street today?
Yes.
Ha ha ha! Yeah! Feels good! Thank you, Mr. Predicto. Appreciate you. BDMP, that magnet is as good as yours. 2 minutes. Tanya says you're going to lose, Sean. Well, there's a chance. Now I got to ask myself these questions. And I think this is fair for us to chit-chat about this in the 2 minutes that we have left. This is strategy. What are the questions that you think Fritz is going to ask? Did a celebrity die in the last week that was big enough? I think Wink or whatever, the game show host, that's not going to be big enough. He's not going to ask that. Wink Martindale. Who died? What stories are going to be in the questions? Because there's 4 stories that are from the news, I believe. Dazed and Confused guy died. That's correct, yes. But is that guy big enough of a name? I don't know if he is. The lady shot in L.A.? Who's the lady shot in L.A.? There was a school shooting. Sometimes he brings up dark ones like that. One minute left. AD, let me tell you something. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Shits on the street is never going to work. It will never, ever, ever be successful. Shits on the street will be a failure. Mark my words. And with that, we're coming back.
Now at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Greene, Green, Greene. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
Radio, the showdown continues next, and you can play along with us. That's one of the fun parts about Fritz on the Street. We'll tell you how and why and all of that in just a moment. Learn more about the show. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Over on the website, you can not only see all the magnets that can be featured in Game of Magnets, you could see this one in particular, the FOTS Hitman Rarity, very rare magnet right here. Hard to get your hands on unless we represent you and win in Fritz on the Street. So it's time to get down to it. Here goes nothing. I will be representing BDMP from Twitch on the Twitch platform, BDMP. I'll be representing for them in Fritz on the Street. What about you, Sabrina?
I'm going to go with El Mágico.
El Mágico.
The Magic. Congratulations on the win.
I like that. All right.
Yeah, they're in
what
the
about
playoffs
you?
now, right?
Sealand, who are you representing?
I am going to pick Chris from Bolorama, who tried to bribe me for this. Tried to slip me $20.
It worked.
I did not take the $20. I just let him keep it.
He said you didn't take it, so I'm going to go with that. But now that locks us all in with our people who we're representing in Fritz on the Street. One question looms over us. Fritz, are you ready to do this thing?
Absolutamente.
Here we go. Let's do Fritz on the Street.
Now it's time for Fritz on the Street.
Hello, Sean. Hello, Sabrina. Hello, Elaine.
Hi, Fritz.
Hey.
Hi. Fritz on the Street, sponsored by Mo. Do it. Injured on the go. Just call Mo. 1-800-CALL-MO. That number, 1-800-CALL-MO. In first place with 101 points, Miss Sabrina Ambra. In second place with 96 points, Mr. Christopher Lane. And in third place with 90 points, Mr. Sean Wasson. So we have 101, 96, and 90.
Close.
I go to the bar, so you don't have to. And I, after Fritz's Funhouse, I, quiz people on the street.
I imagine that there are some drunkos in the crowd this time because it was Reese's birthday last night.
Happy birthday, Reese.
Oh, no.
And he decided to work it, which is a great move as a bartender.
Interesting.
Because you get, hella tips.
Sorry, I'm wasted.
So I ask at least 8 people these 8 questions, 4 current event and 4 general knowledge trivia questions. Your job is to guess how many got them right. And so I was at Cavo's Bar and Kitchen last night for Fritz's Funhouse. That's my trivia night every Tuesday night at 7:30. And we had 14 teams.
Woo!
It was packed. And at the end of each round, I was like, all right, go ahead and pick up a new scorecard, and we will start round 2 shortly. And then I just shut off my mic, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, okay, so that number is higher. Okay, so that's in 12th, 10th, and 9th place. It was
It's a lot of processing you got going on over there.
and a lot of ties.
Yeah.
So if you think you know it, chime in for that bonus point. Is everyone in?
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
We begin with question number 1. Last week, a roof collapse in Sabrina.
That would be in Dominican Republic.
That is correct. Full question. Last week, a roof collapse in a packed nightclub killed over 200 people in which country? Sabrina, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said the DR? Dominican Republic.
Lots of people wasted, possibly. Big news story. 6.
7.
7 for C-Lane.
5.
And 5 for Sean. Question number 1 with answers of 5, 6, and 7. Let's see. Last week, a roof collapse in a packed nightclub killed over 200 people in which country?
Dominican Republic. I know that one.
Is it Colombia?
Brazil?
Ecuador.
The Bahamas?
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic.
DR, Dominican Republic. That would be 4. So, Sean, with your guess of 5, picking up 1 point.
All right. Good start.
That's how the game is played. Moving on to question number 2. What is the more common name for epidermis? Sabrina?
Epidermis would be a spinal tap.
C-Lane.
That is incorrect. C-Lane.
Skin.
Skin is correct.
Damn it, man.
What was it?
Epidermis.
Skin.
C-Lane, out
Idiot.
of 8 answers, how many do you think said skin?
8.
8.
7.
7 for Sean.
6.
And 6 for Sabrina. Question 2 with answers of 6, 7, and 8.
Ding, 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 ding.
That means someone is picking up 2 points, getting it right on the money. Who is it? What is the more common name for epidermis?
No clue.
Skin.
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 Skin. Skin. Skin.
Skin.
That would be 7.
Yes.
So Sean is picking up 2 points on that one, and Sabrina and C-Lane with your guesses of 6 and 8, each picking up 1 point.
Okay.
2 questions down, 6 remaining. Question number 3. According to a new CDC report, 1 in every 31 children now... Sabrina?
Measles.
Incorrect.
Okay.
1 in every 31 children now has what condition?
Sean. Autism.
That is correct.
Yes.
Sean, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said the tism?
I think 6.
6.
5.
5 for Sabrina.
I will also go 6.
And 6 for C-Lane. Question 3 with answers of 5 and 6.
Ding, 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 ding.
Someone knows their CDC reports about autism. According to a new CDC report, 1 in every 31 children now has what condition?
Autism? Diabetes. Autism.
Autism. I didn't know this was a question. Autism.
Autism.
Male pattern baldness. Autism.
That would be 6. So Sean is hitting a 3-pointer on that one. C-Lane is picking up 2 points, and Sabrina, with your guess of 5, picking up 1 point. Question 4 is upcoming.
Sorry, measles kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're really getting it rough. Upcoming is question 4. After question 4, I'll tell you who so far is leading on the day. And question 4 goes like this. Reginald Kenneth Dwight.
C-Lane.
C-Lane.
Elton Hercules John.
That is correct.
Damn.
Reginald Kenneth Dwight is better known as which musician? C-Lane, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Elton John?
I'm going to say 5.
5.
3.
3 for Sabrina.
5.
5 for Sean. Did you guys know that one?
I had no idea.
All right. Question 4 with answers
Sorry.
of 3 and 5. Let's see who knows Sir Elton John. Reginald Kenneth Dwight is better known as which musician?
I don't know. Pass.
I have no idea. Skip. Pass.
No idea.
Pass.
Pass.
Kenny G?
Kenny G.
Elton John.
That would be 1.
Damn.
Wow.
So 4 down, 4 remaining. In first place with 6 points, we have Sean/BDMP. In second place with 5 points, we have C-Lane/Chris from Bolarama. And in third place with 3 points, we have Sabrina/El Mexico.
Where's that magic?
I don't know.
Right here.
Yeah.
How many did Sabrina
This is it.
have?
This is where the
3.
Sabrina's
turnaround
got 3.
happens.
Question 5.
now.
With 4 questions remaining. Recently, President Trump's administration froze federal funds to which university? Sabrina.
Harvard.
Harvard is correct. Sabrina, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Harvard?
Ooh, 4.
4.
6.
6 for Sean.
5.
And 5
Crazy
for
guy.
C-Lane. Question 5 with answers of 4, 5, and 6.
Ding, 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 ding.
Someone knows their federal freeze. Recently, President Trump's administration froze federal funds to which university?
Harvard.
Harvard. Harvard? Is it really?
Harvard.
University of South Florida.
Harvard.
Pass.
Harvard.
That would be 6. So Sean is picking up 2 points. Yes. And C-Lane with your guess of 5, picking up 1 point. Question 5. Nope. Question 6. Now on the docket. Which actress has had roles in films such as The Substance, Once Upon a Time, and Sean?
Sharon Stone?
That's incorrect. C-Lane.
Demi Moore?
That is incorrect.
Oh, damn. Oh, wow. Wasn't her either.
Which actress has had roles in films, Sabrina, such as The Substance, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Nice Guys, and Poor Things?
Emma Stone.
That is incorrect. That would be Margaret Qualley. Margaret Qualley. Sabrina, you got question 5 right. We will start with you. Out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Margaret Qualley?
2.
2.
1.
1 for Sean.
1.
And 1 for C-Lane. Question 6 with answers of 1 and 2.
Ding, 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 ding.
Someone knows their Margaret Qualleys. Which actress has had roles in films such as The Substance, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Nice Guys, and Poor Things?
Pass. Qualley, Margaret Qualley.
What?
I don't know.
Emma Stone?
No, it's not the other Emma. I have no idea. I wouldn't know.
Emma Stone?
Pass.
Margaret Qualley.
That would be 2. So Sabrina's picking up 2 points on that one, and Sean and C-Lane with your guess of 1, picking up 1 point. Moving on now to question 7. Siete in Espanol, that's how they say it. Question 7. On Tuesday, which pop star made a historic trip? Sabrina.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry is correct. Ooh, full question. On Tuesday, yeah, I wonder if she sang it like Louis Anderson. Or Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
No.
No, Louis Anderson did it one time too.
I don't even know. I'm a really good Louis Anderson.
That was good. That was close.
With his little tooth gap. On Tuesday, which pop star made a historic trip to space? Sabrina, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Katy Fireworks Perry?
Oh, I'm going to go with 8.
8.
7.
7 for Sean.
8.
And 8 for C-Lane.
Mo's going to troll, I know it.
Question 7 with answers of 7 and 8.
Ding, 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 ding.
You guys are in the right ballpark, but who's in outer space? On Tuesday, which pop star made a historic trip to space?
Well, she's not an astronaut. Hater. Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
No, that's Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. Ridiculous.
That would be 8. So, Sabrina's picking up a 3-pointer on that one. C-Lane picking up 2 points. And Sean, with your guess of 7, picking up 1 point. I said C-Lane picking up 2, right? Just to clarify.
Yeah.
So that means one question remaining. But before we do, let's take a look at the leaderboard. In first place with 10 points, that would be Sean/BDMP.
Oh, it's so close, though.
Then we have a tie, 9 points apiece with Sabrina/El Mexico and C-Lane/Chris from Bolarama.
Son of a bitch.
Question
Here we
8.
go.
It's about a capital. We've done all of these before, but why not?
Why do you say that?
Because I love to quiz people who have maybe never answered this question before. What is the capital of Lebanon?
C-Lane.
C-Lane.
Lebanon. Lebanon City.
That is incorrect.
Sean. Beirut.
Beirut is correct. Yes. 11 points now for
Sabrina.
Sean. Sean, out of 8 answers, how many do you think said Beirut?
Beirut.
3.
Beirut.
3.
Beirut is on fire. 5.
2.
5 for Sabrina and 2 for C-Lane. Here it is. Question 8 with answers of 2, 3, and 5.
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh
ding,
my
ding.
God.
Is this a game changer? What is the capital of
Come
Lebanon?
on.
Beirut. I did not do good on this week. Pass.
Pass. Tallahassee. It's gonna come to me in like an hour. I don't know.
Damn, how do I not know all these capitals?
Dubai. I don't know, man. That's hard.
That would be 2. So C-Lane is picking up 2 points on that one. And Sean, with a guess of 3, picking up 1 point.
Damn.
That means leading on the day and winning with 12 points, Sean/BDMP. In second place with 11 points, C-Lane/Chris from Bolarama. And in third place with 9 points, Sabrina/El Mexico. That means in
Magic's
first
gone.
place. And still leading on Fritz on the Street with 110 points, Miss Sabrina Ambra. In second place, just 3 points removed.
All right, chill out.
With 107 points, Mr. Christopher Lane. And in third place, 5 points removed from C-Lane with 102 points, Sean Wasson. And that is Fritz on the Street.
Thank you, Fritz.
Thanks, Fritzy.
There we go, Fritz. The best of the best. Make sure you're following him. TheNewsJunkie.com/share. TheNewsJunkie.com/share. It's easy for you to visit. Go over there. You'll see all Fritz's social profiles. Follow him. On Tuesday nights, Fritz's Funhouse Trivia.
Yeah.
Go and take part. Have some fun. You can hear these people in their voices. They're having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Doing Fritz on the Street afterwards. So it'd be crazy not to try this out. Go do it. Get in on the action and follow Fritz over at thenewsjunkie.com/share. Okay, Fritz, you going to hang out with us today?
Yeah, I can hang out for a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, we got a limited amount of Fritz here.
Well, I have job interviews lined up, you know?
Ooh, all right.
That means shirtless pics on the website.
Do you want me to go with you? Can I go the sidecar with you?
Definitely going to be one of my references. Actually, all 3 of you are going to be my references.
My reference is 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, all of the things.
Mine
Sean
says he
Lawson
has
from
a
the
problem.
News Junkie, Sabrina Amber from the News Junkie, C-Lane from the News Junkie. Not
We
even
can
your
vouch for you.
legal name. It's just going to say C-Lane.
We can absolutely vouch for you. What a
I would
great
spread
guy.
those out a little bit. We're all from the same show. But
At least
could
we
all,
got
like,
some
sit
time here.
together.
We got minimal time with Fritz, but we got some time, so let's make the most of it, friends. When we come back, we're going to hear from you. We'll work in some dispatches. We got a bunch of updates on stories that we've talked about over the past week or so. We got a mother and a teacher battling it out, and a whole lot more on the way. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, the second clue for the Searcher Ace-Off contest. The Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando drops by for Animal House. We'll talk to Scott Maxwell from the Orlando Sentinel. Tons of great prizes for trivia. 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000, plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
You won't be expecting any major problems around the perimeter of I-4. However, on I-4, there's stop-and-go traffic eastbound before US 27 and after State Road 429. Traffic's piling up on I-4 westbound through that World Drive area. There's congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Look out for an accident on Orange Blossom Trail at Land Street. Just travel with caution on the roadways. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Kevin, why is my auto insurance so expensive? I need to switch because my company raised my rates again.
I hear you, Jay. I had the same problem, but then I called Acceptance. They saved me hundreds on my car insurance.
Really?
Yes, Acceptance was great. They did all the work comparing different plans and found me the best payment options that fit my budget.
Do you have their number?
Sure do. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049.
Why pay more for auto insurance? Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news if you're...
What I tell you, Skull Mike on. Mr. Predicto is never wrong. What was that noise?
I was washing off the house.
Don't ever do that again.
There was a wasp nest.
You used to like the wasps.
Well, there wasn't anyone in there. Come here.
Okay. Hang on. I'll be back. It'll be good for the stream, though. That's a cool, big design. Hello. Okay, folks. Bootsy Moonshine says Sean's going to go murder the toilet? No. I went out there because Courtney was presenting me with a gift. She had bought me a surprise gift, which always makes me feel bad because I didn't get her a surprise gift, but she got me a surprise gift. And it's a glorious t-shirt by an artist that I like named Alex Pardee, P-A-R-D-E-E. If you've never heard of him, he's done some very cool stuff. In fact, if you're a fan of horror movies, Alex Pardee did a book or something where he did his versions of all of the legendary horror characters. And they were all really cool. Very, very cool spins. If you like horror movies, go check that out. Alex, A-L-E-X, Pardee, P-A-R-D-E-E, I believe, on Instagram. And you'll probably see the shirt on the stream at some point in time. But I'm not putting it on now. It needs to be washed. And it's one of those prints where you can feel the design. So, Alex Pardee, come on. You got to screen print it. Even this shirt's screen printed. Bro. Horror. Are you guys making fun of the way I say horror? Because I'm pretty sure I perfectly pronounced the word. Horror films. I think a lot of people butcher the word, but horror is the correct way to say it. Are you calling me wrong? Now, if you want to say that I say experiment wrong, I do tend to mess that up. I think I just got that right. Experiment. Helicopter, I screw that up from time to time. But I try to be accurate. Horror is correct. Horror. MFQ says washed? It's brand new. Yes, but when you get a shirt that has like the print that you can feel on the front of it, if you wash it one time, it's a little softer. It kind of does something nice to the shirt. Alicia says I can't say overpowering, like without sounding like I'm having a stroke. It's interesting the ones that trip us up, right? Like overpowering is a simple word to me, but I don't know. What are some elucidation? No, I don't struggle with that one anymore. There's been some words where I run into it and I go. Ugh. I mean, I know how to say something like Paschetti. Obviously, is the way you say it correctly. Paschetti in my bowls. Paschetti in my bowls. Am I saying that right? Horror. Okay, folks. We are coming back live now with our friend Fritz.
$1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Greene. Green. Greene. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
Fritz with us
Nice
on
guy.
a Wednesday. He is good guy. I vouch for him. And we'll hear from him in a moment here. We could hear from you, too. Send us a dispatch, and you can get on the show with whatever your opinion is. Or if there's something that, you think we should be talking about, I wouldn't say this is all request talk or something, but, like, if there's something we're missing, you can go, hey, not for nothing, and we'll usually address it, or I'll address it. Or you say, Sean, what's your take on this? Also, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Fritz, question for you.
Yes, sir.
There is a phenomenon happening.
And
it's happening in movie theaters that are showing the Minecraft movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have heard about this a little bit. This whole chicken jockey moment, which chicken jockey is simply like a character, an NPC or a non-playable character from the Minecraft world. It's a rare one. And in that movie, the Minecraft movie, Jack Black is like in the ring, and the chicken jockey comes out of the box, and then people go, chicken jockey! And then they throw a bunch of popcorn up in the air. And there's movie theaters that are pissed off. There's places that are not.
I wonder why.
They're not allowing young people in. They're saying you can't come in without an adult. Then there are people like this. Vulture today says, let the children scream. And they say, I am not familiar with the video game Minecraft, but I had a free afternoon. I popped a magic mushroom, went to the movies, and went to a Minecraft movie. All right?
Okay. Pop the magic mushroom. Go see Minecraft.
Let the children scream.
I was watching the movie when the room was set aflame around me with people just going nuts. Fistfuls of popcorn rose to the skies like geysers.
That would freak me out if I'm tripping.
The air exploded with electricity. I saw colors. I saw lights. It was the most visceral experience I've had at the movie since Terrifier 3.
Okay.
A movie where a killer clown literally forces rats down people's throats. Vouch for that one, too. But he says, let the kids scream. Let the children scream. Where are you at on the kids and this Minecraft outrage stuff? Is it fair for kids to have like a fun movie where they interact? Are these kids out of line? Do you feel bad for the movie theater workers? Where are you at on the Minecraft talk?
I mean, is it just kids or is it adults too?
I think it's mostly younger people.
Because I could see C-Lane doing that. Like not being disrespectful, I can just see him going,
But when you hear kids, though, what age range are you assuming?
under 18, I would imagine.
Okay.
Yeah,
So teens
I'm
too?
talking about teens. I'm talking 12, 13 to like 16, 17. I think that's usually the kids in this category
I mean,
here.
they should definitely know better. I mean, it's disrespectful, to do it, but at the same time, doesn't Rocky Horror Picture Show do worse things than that?
Sure. Or you could go to, like, aren't there bands? When I know C-Lane mentioned Bare Naked Ladies when we talked about this previously, but there are a lot of bands when they play, there's like interactive kind of elements. People throw stuff or whatever. This is just like a human
Most
thing.
of those people are on drugs.
Yes. But there is the assumed before entering rule, or I don't know what the word is, but with Rocky Horror Picture Show, you know what the deal is. When it comes to Bare Naked Ladies, or maybe what's the one?
Gwar?
Trippy.
No Effects?
I mean, Gwar is a great example.
You're talking about Flaming Lips?
Flaming Lips is another one where things are thrown or things are poured onto you.
With Gwar, what do they do?
Flaming Lips is just a lot of confetti.
Oh, Gwar is blood.
Yeah, and also number 3, like fake number 3.
But it
they do everything.
So much of it. That was earlier. No, it must have been late last year that I saw them, and I was just blown away. Considering all the events that we've done and the venues we've worked with, I was like, how did they clear this? Because it was gallons upon gallons
That's a
upon
mess.
gallons of fake blood, and I guess I missed the number 3 number.
Alicia on Twitch says ICP has Fago. That's true. They make a mess with that. I think at this point,
You kind of know
nobody
what you're
should
signing
really...
up for, too, though, right? It's like a social contract you are entering.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Now.
like when you see those, if you walk into a club and it says, video recording might be happening by entering these premises, you agree
Or
to be
Diddy's
videotaped.
house.
Yeah, I think by now there's nobody who should be surprised by what's happening with the Minecraft movie. It should be kind of baked in. The only people who are being taken advantage of here are the movie theater employees.
The poor
If
people
movie
making
theater-
$10 an hour trying to,
If the movie theater literally gave them all a bonus for working on this, since the movie theater is making more money, then I think this would be fine for everybody except for the people who just want to go watch a movie quietly.
Right.
Maybe
But with
they
the
could have
band
another
thing,
option.
with the band thing too, that's like baked into the deal. Like if you mentioned the Flaming Lips, they use a lot of confetti, but they also get charged. The band does by the venue more money to clean the place up when everything's done.
True.
The movies, the movies get shipped out to all these movie theaters, and they're like, "All right, let's write up a schedule. Let's start showing this movie." And then they don't, it's just on the movie theater to like go, okay, I guess we're going to have to clean this up a little bit more than all the rest of the movies.
The theaters care less, I think, though, because they just go, we already pay these kids. Go clean up the theater, whether it's a bigger mess or not. Sometimes they got bigger problems, but overall, they're selling tickets like gangbusters.
These managers are just sitting these little hourlies down and going, listen, in a couple weeks, this will all be over.
Yep.
And in a couple years, you could be manager. We'll see.
And then you won't have to do this, right? There's one theater that is blocking concessions after Chicken Jockey, the Minecraft movie phenomenon. They're saying they're no longer selling concessions for people going to see Minecraft movies, checking tickets to make
so
sure
you
they're
don't
not
like
doing
money
it.
then?
That's discrimination.
That seems kind of dumb. Just embrace it.
That's a Mo question.
There's only so much that can happen now. Over to a mother in Indiana. Take a listen to this lady. She's been radicalized a little bit, I think. A mother in Indiana is accused of bringing a gun to school. Why? Well, her daughter was enrolled as a 6th grader at this school. Used to be, no longer. Her daughter used to be at this school. And she brought the gun to the school in an attempt to confront a teacher over the educator's curriculum.
Okay, I'm still waiting for the unreasonable part,
Yeah,
Sean.
that's illegal.
The mother, Carrie Rivers, is 48 years old, and she said, "You're a child predator," to the teacher after her arrest last week. She spelled "you're" wrong, and that's pretty common. The Indianapolis mother allegedly told police the educator gave her daughter an assignment that she didn't approve of, which covered same-sex relationships and marriages. The teacher said, no, it's actually an assignment about flags, and that one of the flags was the pride flag.
Wait, flags for sure, or was that?
Yes, the FLAGS, just for the record. One of the flags was the pride flag with the words "be kind" on it. Rivers allegedly withdrew her daughter from the elementary school and called to complain. Afterward, the teacher said, your daughter does not need to complete the assignment. So she said, you don't have to do this. Don't worry about it. Rivers says not enough. The mom shows up at the school with her gun. She's got her gun in a holster on her waist.
Like a cowgirl.
Yeah, and she shows up at school with the open holster on her waist with this gun in there. And she was taken into custody because she did this and had some threats on Facebook. Your only hope is your bitch-ass wife who's a cop, Rivers allegedly said. Otherwise, somebody else would have already dealt with you for your wrongs.
Okay.
You mess with the wrong family, I'll tell you that. So please say your prayers and kiss your kids goodbye and good night.
Jeez.
That sounds
As
a little
Jesus
threaty.
would have done, I'm sure.
You never know when God says it's our time, so be prepared. Very, very much threatening with these messages. Then they said, sick, nasty teacher, you should never tell precious, innocent kids that it's okay to be in a same-sex relationship.
Yeah, just tell your kids it's okay to show up with a gun to school.
Yeah.
All of this triggered by the flag instruction in the classroom.
Threatening. Yeah, I love the
police suspected
the hypocrisy.
The parent had possession of a concealed handgun on her person and escorted her out of the building. At that point, they took possession of the weapon from the parent without incident. The parent stated she forgot to remove the handgun before arriving on school property.
Oh, is that right? Even with all the threats? But she got away with it, is what you're saying?
No. She was charged with possession of a firearm on school property. You cannot do that. And harassment for the incident. You are not allowed to do that.
Can I tell you, now put ourselves in the child's shoes. How embarrassing would that be?
I would be pretty mortified.
There are some moments where I thought were very embarrassing when I was an elementary school child, and something like my mom or dad did.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing could hold a candle to your parents showing up with a gun.
I would also
and threatening
say
a teacher.
It's a pretty dumb parent who thinks that if I just force this stuff on my kids, they're automatically going to be the way I want them to be.
That's how you make gay kids, actually.
Most kids reject these things. I can't tell you how many people I knew that grew up in religious households and religion was very much a part of their lives and pushed down on them. And those people who, if there wasn't that pressure, might have otherwise followed in the footsteps of their parents, absolutely did not. Just 100% did not follow in those footsteps and have the same opinions and stuff that their parents have. And then there's households like mine. Like my parents never pushed anything like that on me.
No.
Never. They were never like, here's how you have to be religiously. Here's how you have to be politically.
I want a child who can think for themselves.
We didn't talk about any of that crap. And in turn,
that's why Sean would like to spend the next 30 minutes talking to you about your personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
In the Latter-day Saints. All of them
Lord
together.
and Savior. And just know, you've got time before you burn in hell for eternity.
Hey, can I tell you, I'm going to burn in hell for eternity?
Oh, Sam,
all right.
Tough one for me.
What did you do?
You explore?
Got the old, knock on the door the other day. And Courtney goes, it's some lady, and she's got like a cart with her, and there's a little kid. And I get it. I know. High-pressure sales tactics. I'm not going to fall for this. I'm not buying your solar panels.
Please.
All right? Little kid and the mom come up to the door, and then knock again and ring the doorbell. And I'm like, good luck. I'm not answering it. I don't take solicitors, punk. And finally, they leave something. And Courtney goes, oh, they left something by the door. And she goes and retrieves the thing that they left by the door.
Pound of weed.
These poor people are missing their cat in the neighborhood and
Jesus,
desperately
Sean.
wanted us to take a poster that had a photograph of their sweet little cat and some instructions. And all I had to do was answer the door and tell them that I had not seen their adorable cat.
You did steal their cat.
All you had to do was give back the cat.
I didn't steal the cat. I would never
said,
do that.
are they gone? And they let the cat out of the tiny Harry Potter closet in the
run,
bathroom.
follow them.
I would never do that. I love animals. We are going to take a quick break, though.
Yeah, of
when
course.
we come back, we'll hear from you. We'll dig into some updates. We got jury duty on the way. What's happening with the Carmelo Anthony story? There's an update there. We've got the guy who tried to burn down the governor's mansion. A twist-a-rooney in that story.
Ooh.
Wasn't expecting this, but here we are. What is it? That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA.
The Magic will face reigning champion Boston in the first round of the NBA playoffs after crushing Atlanta in Tuesday's play-in game. Game 1 is set for Sunday. Florida's Alex Condon, he's declaring for the NBA draft after helping lead the Gators to the national title, but he will keep his college eligibility. And British tennis player Harriet Dart's under fire for asking the umpire to make her opponent put on deodorant during a match in France today. I'm Scott Davidson.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win. We're offering as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Curious what your trade's worth? Check it out now at greenwaykias.com. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, with 3 area locations to serve you. All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinance.
If you're thinking about going to nursing school but aren't sure how to get started, join us at Galen College of Nursing's upcoming open house. Here, you'll meet with friendly and helpful faculty, current students, and academic advisors who can help you get comfortable with admissions and enrollment. Plus, you'll tour our campus and learn all about Galen's personalized student support. RSVP now for our open house on Tuesday, April 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. by visiting galencollege.edu/Orlando.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
At Florida Prepaid, we're...
Hello. Skullmikers. We're cruising along to jury duty. Carmelo Anthony update. It's the story where he stabbed the young track and fielder Austin in the heart. In the meantime, rip to Wink Martindale. Did anybody know who Wink Martindale is? Yes or no? Do you know the name Wink Martindale? Yes or no? R.I.P. to him. Game show host, dead at 91 years old. He was on the show Gambit. Don't know that one. Tic-Tac-Doe, you might remember. The Joker's Wild, which I remember this one. He was on The Price is Right with Bob Barker. Gambit debuted on the same day as The Price is Right. Gambit was the show he was on. And The Joker's Wild had Jack Barry on it. From the day it hit the air, Gambit spelled winner. Keep it simple, stupid. Gambit? You guys remember Gambit? I remember Tic-Tac-Doe, not Gambit. Yes. Wow. Look at all you Wink Martindale fans. I did not expect this. You've heard of Wink Martindale? I remember Tic-Tac-Doe, and I think it was just a game show where you played tic-tac-toe with answers. A la Hollywood Squares type thing. But those weren't my games. My games were Press Your Luck, the $10,000 Pyramid, all those. Okay, we're coming back now.
For possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Mainlining today's top stories. You're listening to the News Junkie, Sean Watson.
Hey, big thanks to Bro Villa for gifting 3 Secret Shows subs. Those have been claimed already. That's why you got to stay on top of things on thenewsjunkie.com. Also, big ups to JML29 and Petri28, the 2 latest Secret Show subscribers. Unlock Secret Shows or gift them. Even better, one gift is one magnet that I send to you. Do that by going to thenewsjunkie.com/gift or clicking the gift icon on the website. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And Anthony emails the show. Anthony says, hello, News Junkies. I agree with you about the dogs being off the leash in a public area. Now, for those of you who didn't listen to this, there's a story about this poor girl. I don't remember how old she was. Was she like 7 or 9 or something like that? This girl we talked about, 9. She was a young girl.
Between 7 and 9.
She got bit by a pit bull, but that shouldn't really matter that much.
Oh,
she got bit by a dog.
Bit good. Right.
She got bit real good on the head, like it bit her on the head and her eye, and her face was all messed up. And the people who had the dog had not been taken away. They're like not talking to the cops. And I said flat out, I don't care about pit bull arguments anymore. I want all people with all dogs to be held responsible, criminally responsible for the damage done. I'm tired of this stuff. I want this across the board. I want people to pay for their mistakes. I want the same thing for parents who leave out a weapon and their kid takes their unsecured weapon and brings it to a school and harms somebody else. I want the same thing for people who don't secure their animals and their animals get out because of their mistakes and attack some little girl like this. It's criminal, and we should stop treating it like it's anything else, like it's just a lawsuit moment. No, 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 in my humble opinion. They said you should have your dog on a leash. Actually, it says you should have your dog on Alicia at all times, but I'm assured that you don't mean Alicia.
Keys.
You should have your dog on a leash at all times, regardless of the breed. If your dog escapes from the house and bites somebody on one occasion, you should absolutely be financially responsible. Do you not know about criminally on a single incident? ? I think this is a voice-to-text situation. If it's a repeated thing when your dog is escaping from your house, then yes, hold them criminally responsible. No, I don't even think repeatedly. I think one strike. Your job is to secure your animal. If you don't do it and someone else is harmed, you have made a mistake that has caused somebody else pain. The world isn't just about punishing people for things they did on purpose. The word accident is there for a reason. Sometimes an accident leads to you spending time behind bars. You accidentally fire your weapon and hit somebody. Hey, C-Lane, look, I'm just cleaning this thing. Uh-oh, whoops. Oh. Guess what? R.I.P. C-Lane and R.I.P. my freedom. And I deserve it if that's the case. If it ever happens, that's just how it should be.
I mean, if maybe you think there's a possibility.
What? Me shooting C-Lane?
I just want to make sure we cover all the bases before we move on.
I have no current plans to shoot C-Lane. I don't have any at all.
Good answer.
Currently to shoot C-Lane. Does he have a plan to shoot me? I don't know. If he does, I'll be ready with a plan to shoot him.
Would you like to answer now or wait until Mo comes in?
I don't have plans to shoot anybody.
All right.
You're right.
I don't have plans to shoot anybody.
I don't have plans
Sean's getting shanked.
to kill anybody.
No.
Seriously hurt?
Somebody else wants to kill me, I'll have a plan to kill them real quick, C-Lane, so don't forget that, all right? That's what's happening.
Not if they kill you first.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Brought to you by the DeWitt.
I'm going to kill you! Quick break. Here we go. Let's go to jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Did we lose Fritz? Did we lose him to the interview?
Yeah. He's
Son
upset.
of a bitch.
You said something kind of rude earlier. So.
I did?
Yeah, he needed a second.
He's preparing for his interview, I'm sure. That's fine. We want him to nail whatever he's got going on today. Meanwhile, Jury Duty, brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. You know, kind of funny, guys. We watched a movie last night. It was an old school movie from 1994. And it was, I like these kind of courtroom drama type movies. And in this movie that we watched last night, hang on, I'll dig it up so I can tell you what it was called. It was one of these flashback movies that Courtney's been putting into the rotation. And it was okay. You know, it wasn't like the greatest movie I've ever seen. It's called The Client.
Oh.
With Susan Sarandon's in it, who I love. I think she's so good.
Oh, my gosh. I feel like I just saw it. Who was the male?
Tommy Lee Jones is also in it. There's a young boy in it, too. And
you only watched it in 720p, huh? What, do you hate yourself?
Get out of there, please. The Client is one of these movies that's like a courtroom drama. I like them, okay? Kind of like Blank Check if a little kid saw something very bad happening and the mafia wanted to get him.
Did he still get a chance to make out with an adult woman?
Maybe, maybe not. You'll have to see. But in this movie, there was an attorney that pops up, and he's like... He didn't have Injured on the Go, just call Mo, but he had an exact replica of that. And I go, oh, man, attorneys have been doing the old, like, in a wreck, call for the check, like all these little rhymey things for so long now. And they were even doing it back here when this was the time. But this attorney that I watched them perform in this movie, not a fraction as good as Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm.
You bet your ass.
He's better than those on the big screen, the small screen, or any screens. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. Arnott says, Wasson, this is already a law and is a misdemeanor or felony depending on circumstances. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true because we would have too many cases like this if that were the circumstance. I think if people see pets that just randomly got out one time and attacked somebody, I think it tends to be a civil case. I don't think it goes to criminal court. Show me something that says I'm wrong, and I'll take a second look. But at the very minimum, it's not prosecuted enough in places where that is the law. It's just not the case. Too many times people don't face those charges. These people are, and they should. All right. Update on the Carmelo Anthony story. He's the one who stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf at this track and field event. Here's the house they got with that sweet give, send, go money.
Wait, they bought a new house?
This is the house they bought with the money they raised. They said they couldn't put up the money for the bond, which was $1 million. They had it lowered. Instead, they needed to get a house for security, and this is the actual house. Also, they got a brand new car. So they are taking to spending some of this stabbing money pretty quick.
Okay, there's a way to tell the story. We don't know.
So there's money in stabbing, huh?
They could have gotten
There's
a loan
money in
out.
stabbing. No, they literally said to the court, this is what they were spending the money on because they wanted to keep their family safe because there were threats out there.
What
so
does
they
the
needed
car
to be
have to do with it?
I don't know, but they bought another car because you could see a brand new car in the parking lot.
My Mazda is so stabbable these days.
The story says Carmelo Anthony, renting $900,000 home in a gated community with family, bought a new car after being released on bond in the Austin Metcalf murder case, according to reports. And then they also released this. The lawyers, when Carmelo Anthony was being released, they had like sunglass cameras on.
Oh,
and so
the Meta Ray-Ban ones?
They tracked him. This is them talking to Carmelo Anthony.
All right, come on, man. Just follow back.
Follow us. Stay close. This is when they were going out.
Okay.
I don't know why they filmed it. Maybe they just wanted to have the footage in case something bad happened.
Probably. You don't look as ridiculous. Body cam.
Yeah, it's not as obvious that you got a camera. And here they are marching past the media that was gathered on the site.
Hello, media.
Of course, somebody came out and they're like, why'd you stab him? Why'd you have a knife at school? Why'd you have this? Why'd you have that?
Carmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say, Carmelo?
Nope.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart?
Sweetheart.
Carmelo, why were you armed at school? You
gotta fluff it.
So this is them showing from their angle what happened as they whisked him back away to this nice house that they're staying at now.
When I see stuff like this, I always wonder, like, what would Sabrina do as a field reporter? And I would just forget what I'm going to say and be like, what's up? How are you? What'd you eat this morning? Any comment?
it feels kind of slimy. It
feels
does.
slimy, but it's also the hustle.
Carmelo,
it's
any
their
opinion
job.
on when GTA is going to be released?
It's literally their job. I get that.
Yeah, but I think it used to actually produce content, and more, so many people have just been advised to keep their mouths shut, and the perp walk ends up being this either very quiet thing or very awkwardly, like one or two people are talking and nobody's giving any answers thing, and it's like, why are you doing this anymore? They still want the perp walk, they want the footage, but I think there used to be more of a grab. They
didn't get anything.
They used to reap more, than they sowed.
Tanya on YouTube says this guy has raised a whole bunch of money, and Austin has also raised. He's saying Austin Metcalf's family has raised $549,000 between the two GoFundMe accounts. But it is ridiculous that Carmelo has raised so much money for stabbing a kid in the heart. It does seem weird. It does seem very odd, and we haven't gotten anything out. The lawyers are all speaking in codes and phrases instead of saying like, "Hey, actually." He was defending himself, and he deserves for people to back him up. Here's his side of the story. They haven't said any of that just yet. But, got a nice house in a gated community and a new car. All could be yours, too, if you just stab somebody in the heart.
Man, that guy on Facebook, the racist dude, his blood must be boiling here that they got the car, too.
Here's the problem. Because we were talking about this a little bit between breaks. There's a problem here because this is a weird story. And I think people who are supporting this Carmelo Anthony, I think some of them are motivated by being racist themselves. I think so. I think some of the supporters of this guy are supporting him because he's a black dude who stabbed a white kid, and they want like retribution somehow. And so they're donating to his cause. But also, you do see actual racists picking up on this story and going, like, just obsessing over it, like
play stupid games.
Yeah, this is an example of what did the guy say that you were talking about, C-Lane? Or do you want to share that? You maybe don't want to share that.
I mean, he used a term that sounds like a slur, and it was just like, oh, he's a didn't do nothing.
Yeah, which if you don't know, it comes from 4chan, which RIP right now. 4chan is down.
Oh, that's a 4chan thing?
Yeah, well, it started on those kind of websites, 4chan in particular. And when a black kid would do something and get in trouble, their parents would always say that he was a good kid and he didn't do anything, and they turned it into like a slur, a didn't do nothing or didn't do nothing. So that's where that comes from. So there are people who get up in the mix here and start to take advantage and use it for racist stuff on their own. It's just a shame. I mean, to me, it was two kids interacting, and one of them with maybe a different idea of what justice and defense means, saying, you put your hands on me when I told you not to put your hands on me, so I stab you, you die. And this kid, Carmelo Anthony, thought this was the case to such an extent, he talked to the cops. He was like, I could do that, right? I'm allowed to do that, right? And like, I don't think this is going to work out for you, bud. But there you go. There's the updates on that case. We got more to get to in just a moment. The teacher, the house party teacher that got a new job, she got some bad news after the show yesterday. And we'll get to the update on the Pennsylvania governor's mansion. Excuse me. And also, we'll get to a man who was held captive for 20 years in Connecticut is now finally speaking out. What did he say? Wait till you hear this. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Traffic's piling up at the Ramp Junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the Beach Line due to an accident on Orange Blossom Trail at Land Street. There's slowdowns on I-4 westbound through that World Drive area. Traffic's backing up on I-4 eastbound before US 27 and after State Road 429. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com. Look, we get it. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy Rant Tacos and that suspiciously overpriced coffee you keep pretending is an experience. Win a cool $1,000 just for listening to us. That's $1,000 in your hand. Real money. Cold, hard cash. Use it to pay bills or blow it on something completely irresponsible. Hey, we don't judge. We just give you $1,000 and let you make bad decisions. Listen to win or don't, but then you'll be broke and bored. 13 keywords a day. Enter them at realradio.fm, and because you need to hear this, answer your phone if we call on Real Radio 104.1, where your poor life choices start with us. This national contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad. Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you, you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with beautiful designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly. Installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1 month only sale. $300 off all windows, $825 off patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Bonus offer. First 50 callers get a free True Scene screen upgrade. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Visit Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa today to sign up for Unity by Hard Rock, the global loyalty program unlike any other, designed to reward you for doing what you love. New members receive a limited edition Seminole Hard Rock Tampa t-shirt and can play up to $200 on us. Slots, tables, stays, dining. Get rewarded for your experience. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-
Folks, last hour of the show. Welcome to the last hour of the show. Hope you're enjoying yourself so far. Thank you for being here. And within this hour, we will choose our chatter of the day. Best of the best, or worst of the worst. One of you will be held up like Simba in The Lion King over this whole land. So maybe it's your moment to shine. Also going to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Somebody called her a butch-bodied something. They always go after her for being butch. That's what they go after Marjorie Taylor Greene for. She's been called that before. Always to the physical stuff, which, again, leads me to this conclusion that I've told you 8 million times. People don't care about insulting women. People don't care about insulting people based on their physical characteristics. They don't care about any of this as long as you hate them politically. You can use anything as a slur or an insult as long as you dislike people. Otherwise, you will hold people to a fire and socially erase them if they do it. But if you don't like the people, you can do it. I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's annoying and dumb. Space lasers. I don't even know if they got her wrong on that one, but she seems to be ideologically captured and dumb. But it's funny when we see people shouting out stuff like butch bodied. All right, we're coming back. Here we go.
Get ready for an action-packed tournament weekend at Daytona Beach and Orange City Poker. First, dive into the Super 40s at Orange City Racing and Card Club. A $300 buy-in, $40,000 guaranteed prize pool, kicking off Saturday, April 19th. Then, head over to Daytona Beach Poker Sunday, April 20th for the $230 buy-in, $25,000 guaranteed GAPT Classic. Whether you're a poker pro or a rising star, this is your weekend to win big. Don't miss the action.
Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next truck at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Broadcasting live from the world's most dysfunctional think tank. This is the news.
You can always catch up with the show by subscribing to the podcast. And it's free.
What?
If you go over to the website, it's available for you on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast. Catch up with us. All the stuff you miss is available for free on a podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. I don't know if we're all up on the latest on this story, but we talked about it when it first happened. There was a guy in Connecticut, and he was held captive in a house for over 20 years.
I remember talking about this. Gosh.
Scary, man.
When that broke, though, is that a month ago already?
It was.
What time is doing to us?
Hang on. I think they mentioned in the story. It was a little while back, but it was this year, I think, February 17th, Sabrina. It was February 17th when this happened. Here's some of the basic details before we get to this guy speaking out after being held captive for 20 years. He has released his first public statement. Man allegedly held captive over 20 years releases his first statement. He says, I'm speaking out today to begin the process of reclaiming my life and to have my say in how my story is told. This is a man who was allegedly held in captivity in his Connecticut home for more than 20 years. He says he's much better and stronger than the day first responders carried him out of the residence in February.
I would hope so. Protein shake or two.
The severely emaciated 5'9" man weighed just 68 pounds when he was found in this home.
What a 12-year-old weighs, right?
That is tiny.
That's insane.
Do you know what Jackson weighs now? What he weighs?
About half that.
Yeah.
No, a little less than that.
A little less than half that, but like this guy's 68 pounds as a grown-ass adult. They said the man first told responders that he initially set the fire in his room and alleged that his stepmother had held him captive since he was 11 years old. And now he is speaking out. He wants to reclaim his story. What's he saying? I'm listening. Let's see.
You have seen the chilling body camera video. The survivor was only 68 pounds, rescued by firefighters from a home in Waterbury. In a statement released today, the 32-year-old, identified only as S, says he is speaking out to, quote, begin the process of reclaiming my life and to have my say on how my story is told.
Eyewitness News anchor Tanya Rivero.
I think that's plenty fair. This guy went through that and then some. 20 years. Is that even more than the Ariel Castro girls, those poor girls that he kidnapped?
I think a little bit more, but they were definitely past
a long time. Yeah, they were in there, some of them for a very, very long time. This guy for 20 years was kidnapped by this family. Well, his own family that was, treating him wrong.
Tanya.
All right. Well, David and Liz, this is the first time we are hearing directly from the Waterbury, Connecticut man at the center of this bizarre domestic abuse case. In a public statement just released, he's thanking those he says rescued him, as well as those who are now helping him recover.
So this guy is doing some things. And tell me how you feel about this. Tell me if you think this is fair considering his circumstances. Since he was 11 years old, his family held him in what he called a cage. For 20 years he was there. He was 68 pounds, 5'9" when they found him. He said, I'm going by S right now. This is not the name given to me by my parents when I was born. I'm choosing a new name for myself, and I will use that name as I reclaim control over my life and my future. Seems fair to me.
Man, that's a broken spirit.
Yeah. To me, that's a person who doesn't even identify, Fritz, with the name that his parents gave him because of all the crap that he went through. So he's like, I have to kind of be reborn here.
Yeah, he doesn't identify with anything. It's like that line from White Lotus, if you have nothing in the tank, the car won't start.
This poor person was in that exact position. That. My name is my choice, he says, and it's the first of many choices I'll make for myself now that I am free. Back to ABC 7.
2 decades of captivity. Police say the man, now calling himself S to protect his identity, started the February fire himself in an effort to escape from his alleged captor, his stepmother, Kimberly Sullivan.
There she is.
Heard here calling for help.
Please hurry. It's 2 Blake Street. There's a fire. My son, a stepson, is in his room, and I don't know, he did something with the TV.
Starving and weighing just 68 pounds, S shocked first responders.
They carried him out like he's a little kid when they brought him out of this house.
He had been held captive in his room for 20 years. Today, he is thanking those who rescued him and giving more insight into his ordeal.
No, is that his room? The dog cage in it? I hope that's not it. Is it? That's wild.
Oh, God.
He's taking his life back, and he should. He should. And the media should respect this person, give him some space, let them kind of figure out what they want to do next year.
Who spoke out immediately after this was...
Who's that?
The biological father, I believe. He said, or maybe it was it was the mother.
Biological mother? Okay.
Had already had a kid, I guess S's older sibling who had got taken away. And the mom was to the understanding as she was pregnant with S, was like, they're either going to take it away or put in the hands of this woman who is going to take care of him. Mm-hmm. And then that was that. And then here she is in the news almost afterwards, like, had I known, blah, 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 no follow up. Or you get into a weird spot because nobody followed up, but you're immediately going to, in my opinion, reach out to the news and say, I'm here to do the interview. But I'm you didn't want to ask about how your kid was doing for 20 years?
That is a tough thing, though, because if you're a person, and there are many reasons why it is more than fine to do this, if you're a person who gives up a child, I can totally see, not having any contact and just hoping that everything goes as best as possible with that person.
And I agree.
And not following up and intervening and stuff. I can understand that. But in this case, it just was the worst possible scenario for this damn
Probably
person.
Wish you would have followed up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, back over to the update for the Pennsylvania governor whose home was targeted and lit on fire. I still say there's been no really come to Jesus moment about how bad the security let down Josh Shapiro's family in Pennsylvania. But
nobody's been losing any jobs yet?
Not that I've heard of. No, and they spotted this guy, Cody Bomber, the man who set fire to the Pennsylvania governor's mansion. They spotted him. Then he ran up to the house. They allegedly saw him do that. Then he busted into the house, lit the house on fire, and was en route to find the governor himself and beat him to death with a hammer when finally somebody said, hey, we need to stop this guy. But I don't even think it worked out that way. I think Cody Bomber actually gave up and then left the house and was arrested afterwards. Now we hear an update from CNN. The man accused of setting fire to Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's house told 911 operators he targeted the governor in part because of his views on the war in Gaza, this says. The warrant said Bomber called 911 early Sunday morning and said Shapiro needs to know he will not take part in his plans for what he wants to do to the Palestinian people. At first, it was alleged that this was over his mother's home being taken, but this is a twist in things. And they suggest that it was motivated by his feelings on the Gaza-Israel situation.
Why do you go after the governor for that?
He's a Jew. He was a Jew on Passover. Josh Shapiro was. That's I'm sure the reason. I'm not saying he should have, because I don't think he should have, but I bet that's his reasoning. Yeah, we got to let this be heard here on Passover. All right, Fritz, how about we hear from some dispatchers? What do you say?
Yeah.
Huh?
All right.
He was just saying he did not want to hear from dispatchers.
That is a lie.
Well, it's happening anyways. We got to do it. Here we go. Let's
Mercedes,
see.
Amber.
We've got Master Bruce chiming in with a dispatch.
I don't want to hear him.
Yo, junkies. Sean, I don't know how you're upset that Carmelo raised all this money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had plenty of individuals killing unarmed black men, and then they were getting paid time off. And then on top of that, the community was raising money for them and their families because they got fired from their job for killing unarmed black men.
Man, you're proving my point.
So what's the difference here?
All right, here's what the difference is. The difference is in almost all of these cases, there was a reason or explanation of defense for the accused. And therefore, people who saw the details of the case, one person kills another person, thought that the person who was charged with the crime was justified in self-defense. Yet in this case, there is absolutely nothing in the eyewitness interviews or any of the released information that suggests that this guy was rightfully defending his life. In fact, it suggests the opposite. It suggests that for the mere act of being touched, he decided to end the life of a teenager and stab him in the heart and kill him. That's the difference. If you can't see that, I'm not sure how to help you. I explained, I thought, as clearly as possible yesterday and previously on the show, that if a piece of information came out and they said, well, actually, here's what happened. Actually, they had pinned Carmelo down, and he was being bullied by these other kids, and he feared for his life, and he did the only thing he could do. Even though he wasn't supposed to bring a knife to school, he did, and he had one in his backpack. And rather than die and leave his family behind, he reached into his backpack, grabbed the knife, and stabbed Austin in the heart, and unfortunately, he died. Fine. If that person wants to raise funds and you want to defend that person, or you think that justice isn't served by putting them behind bars, fine. There's nothing like that. All you have is information that suggests this was a person who killed another person. So backing them up is a very weird look, to say the least. Here's Sharkbait talking about leash people.
Hey there, junkies, what's up? So I have a neighbor who just inherited a second house on the neighborhood, and he recently, a few months ago, got a Vizsla and a Weimaraner, and he just lets them free roam. They were like 8 weeks old when he got them, and now they're still under a year. They just free roam the neighborhood.
You can't do that, I don't think, right? I don't know if that's
You're not
illegal.
supposed to. Also, I think Vizslas are usually... They're kind of on the list, aren't they? Aren't they Vizsla's kind of mean dogs?
I got to be honest with you. I don't know what a Vizsla is. I don't even know if I've ever heard of
Wow,
it.
call themselves a Vizsla.
You've heard of it. But if you read it, it's.
How do I spell it?
It's like Vizsla or something.
V.
Oh, okay. These are like really tall hound dog looking things.
Yeah, nothing.
The Velcro dog?
I was so close. Vizsla.
Yeah, the Velcro dog, Vizsla.
Beautiful doggy.
Velcro
Vizsla.
dog? Like they feel like Velcro? Or
They attach to you like Velcro. You can't get them off.
It might be. The Vizsla, known as the Hungarian Vizsla, or Hungarian Pointer, Vizsla, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm just unfamiliar
One more
with the dog.
time, Sean. Come on.
The Hungarian Vizsla, did I get it right that time? Is a versatile hunting dog that is traditionally and currently used to hunt, point, and retrieve. The Vizsla, did I get it right that time?
Yeah.
Is a short-coated hunting dog of distinguished appearance. I don't know if they say the nickname in here, though. That was the thing, the Velcro dog that I was not familiar with. Velcro? No, they didn't even mention that in the Wikipedia. But beautiful
Who made
dog.
that up?
Big dog. And you're saying those are known to be a little bit aggressive, Sea-Lamb?
I might be confusing it with a different breed.
Wow.
Fake news. Unbelievable fake news. All right. They said, the dogs were just roaming the backyard. People need to get some damn respect. Absolutely, says Sharkbait. I think we just can't have this happening. Your goal in life should be to enjoy yourself and your experience as much as possible, to take care of you and your crew, your family, your friends, whoever you've squatted up with.
Your pets.
And your pets, absolutely, 100%. But your goal should also be to not negatively impact other people's experiences.
See.
And in doing what would happen with this young girl and letting your dog run out and attack this girl, you let them in as many words because you didn't make sure they were secured. I think that's wrong.
This is a win for the cat community, though.
The cat community hardly ever is responsible for any stuff like this.
Yeah, they just kill birds and snakes.
Animals, yes.
Unless it's the big cat community, like tigers.
Yeah.
Or ligers.
That's Carol Baskin.
Yeah.
Can you get a liger? What's a liger cost these days?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think they just had a sale on Prime, actually.
Buy a liger online.
And
I looked
this
up
is
liger
you're having the
costume
most
instead.
Florida moment right now. This
Fritz?
is the problem.
Ligers for sale, man. I don't know if you should be able to do this,
That's
but
a website.
ligers for sale. And they can eat about 100 pounds of food a day. Great.
Same.
Great. Why not have this animal in your house?
This would be perfect for the C Lane household. He's got 15 fridges.
True.
There's only
13.
three.
And tigers are $7,500. So I imagine a liger is more expensive. I just would imagine. Yeah, it's quite pricey, but still not enough. Because
because you can ride it to work. I would imagine
people shouldn't have that. That would be.
I feel like you have an idea.
What a scene.
Jeff, do you know what a liger is?
Yes, it's a lion and tiger hybrid.
How giant do you think it is?
They're like 9 feet tall. Yeah.
Okay, Sabrina, if Fritz rode up to iHeart HQ on a liger, pretty cool move.
No,
Phil Collins? Yeah, hell yeah.
Doom, 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 doom. That would be a
And I go, where
right there.
did you put the speaker? And it lifts its tail, and there it is, Bluetooth style.
Quick break. When we come back,
You don't want
we're
to
going to
expand
get
on
to
that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene was confronted at a town hall.
What?
We've got to talk about that. And an update on something that I said was going to change forever. And I see a little bit of movement on this front. We'll discuss that. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's an accident where Orange Blossom Trail meets Land Street, causing congestion on the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Multiple lanes are blocked on Colonial Drive eastbound at Ferguson Drive. Eastbound and westbound lanes are being affected due to an accident on Sand Lake Road where it meets Turkey Lake Road. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 through that Champions Gate area. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by the Music Saved Me podcast.
I'm Lynn Hoffman, and lucky me, I get to host the Music Saved Me podcast, the podcast that explores the healing and transformative power of music. You can listen to the Music Saved Me podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassey's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg.
This is an ad for Roundup for Lawns. It kills weeds down to the root without harming your lawn. It works on crabgrass, dandelions, clover. It works on weeds with names you can't even pronounce. It's Roundup for Lawns. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando. Here in Orlando, we know life doesn't slow down for anything, especially a broken garage door. Since 2002, Precision Garage Door has been proudly serving the Orlando community. Local and reliable, that's what makes them different. Their vans are fully stocked, so when you call, their fully vetted techs are ready to provide you with same-day service. Whether it's a stuck door or a snap spring, they have you covered right when you need it most. We know a broken garage door can't wait, which is why we're always prepared to help by keeping our vans fully stocked. Call Precision Garage Door today or visit them online at PrecisionGarageDoor.com. Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
Men,
Trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Florida just got its own local currency, the Florida Goldback, and you can get one for free. Goldbacks look like cash, but they're made of pure 24-karat gold, so they resist inflation and preserve your purchasing power. To celebrate the launch of this local currency, we're giving away free half Goldbacks to Florida residents only while supplies last. Claim your free Florida Goldback before they're gone at freegoldback.com and get it delivered to your Florida address absolutely free.
If you have been in a car accident in the past and have settled your case, I may have some good news. Some unethical lawyers have people known as runners who come directly to your hospital room or home and solicit your case. It's a disbarable offense. Anyone that would hire these scumbags needs to have their heads examined. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Now for the good news. If this happened to you, we will sue these lowlifes and fight to get all your fees back. And then look and see if these bottom feeders also malpractice your case and sue them for that too. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Visit forthepeople.com for a free consultation or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. If someone does this to you, call the Bar Association and report them. Let's fight these bums. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Let's go, Mike. Folks, the penultimate segment has arrived. The segment before the last segment of the show. We are going to choose who our chatter of the day is in the next break. If you think anybody has been standout today, certainly push them forward. But thank you for being with us. Thank you for streaming. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Send a gift over if you want to show me some love of secret shows. Gift some secret shows subs, because that is coming up tomorrow. We do secret shows on Thursdays, live on the Discord. And then you can watch them on the website after. But gift some subs. thenewsjunkie.com/gift. You got a mention on the show, and my unending thanks and appreciation for spreading the word. Coming back now.
Auto insurance. Acceptance Insurance has offices in your neighborhood, and one call to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance. 800-606-7049. Let Acceptance shop for you. By comparing and finding the best rates, you could save up to 30%. 800-606-7049. 800-606-7049. Restrictions apply based on Q1 2024 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Okay, don't freak out. Chaperone is here, and she is unfiltered on Las Culturistas. I gotta warn you, there is no topic off limits. Plus, Kate Cassidy breaks her silence on Purpose with Jay Shetty. She talks about Liam Payne, and it's an episode you do not want to miss. Plus, Amy Lou Wood drops by On Air with Ryan Seacrest, and she says she felt pretty ugly after learning her casting process for White Lotus.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Do you have
AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the news.
What we're doing here, part of the machine. It requires you. And you can join us on the show with the dispatch. We'll get in some more of those. I haven't played too many today, but we got some all queued up before the end of the show here. Send a dispatch to join us at thenewsjunkie.com. Somebody sent an email, and I think this is an interesting question about all of this Carmelo Anthony, Austin, whatever stuff, where the stabbing at the track and field event. And Mike says, the whole thing's unfortunate. Would you put your hands on somebody that told you not to? Please answer yes or no, especially after being warned that it's not going to end well if you do. The question is totally irrelevant. And it's like actually getting at the heart of the cultural issue that I'm telling you is taking place here. There are some people that are thinking, if I say, don't put your hands on me, you don't want to. You don't want to see what happens if you put your hands on me, and then the person does it. Killing is not an appropriate response to that. You have to be acting in self-defense. The question doesn't matter. If somebody told me, don't put your hands on me or I'm going to kill you, I probably wouldn't put my hands on that person. Depends on the circumstances. But it doesn't matter. If I do, it does not give them carte blanche to kill somebody. You have to have a reason to do so. Cop. Well, in some cases, if you're a cop and you don't have a reason to think that your life is in danger, you too can get charged with this. And certainly we've seen that over the years. You can argue they don't apply it as much as they should. But in this case, we have a cultural issue. It's about like respect and various other things. And it's about, I told you not to touch me. You touched me and I killed you. What do you want? F around and find out. So you land on either side of that. And here we are. I have an update on something that I'm predicting happens in the United States over the next 5 years or so. I think that just as we stopped pumping our own gas, we stopped paying for our gas after we got it, we stopped paying for our hotel visits after we got it. We used to kind of do that differently, but now they take your card and put holds and stuff beforehand. A lot of stuff that's expensive, now over time, we change rules, and rules usually change because of people who are being dicks. People who are not like the rest of us and who don't follow the rules and such.
Indeed.
So if you go and pay for your gas first or pay at the pump now, no, that's because a lot of people before you took advantage, filled up their car and drove away and stole the gas. Know that if you go to a restaurant, that's not generally the case, but you can go to places now. I'm going to use Sealand as an example. And I'm not trying to point you out for any other reason than you told the story about this.
Well, at least you're not killing me this time.
I'm not killing you, I promise. But you told the story about this not that long ago. You told the story about going out with several of your friends, and you went to a place where not only did you have a meal that was a little pricey, but also a bunch of wine. And wine gets pretty pricey at some of these places. I don't remember the place that you went to, but like a steakhouse or something, right?
All right.
And when you talked about the wine and having a good time and having a great meal, I believe you told me the amount that it cost for this meal with you and a bunch of your friends. That's the kind of stuff that I think about. I go, could you imagine? You could go eat all this food, drink all this wine, and then if you just ditched out afterwards, they're on the hook for a whole bunch of money. And you can't do that with it.
Insane.
You can't do that with a lot of other things.
No. You can't drive a car off a lot.
No, not without paying for it or putting your name and information down. We only do that with very particular things that have not been changed yet. Like we were watching this movie I told you about last night, and there's other cultural things that have changed since the 1990s. And you guys can chime in on whether you think this is something that's changed or not. But the movie The Client that I talked about, the kid's brother and mother are in the hospital for some portion of it. And people just keep appearing in the hospital room. And Courtney was asking, could you just like show up and just like pop into somebody's hospital room? I said, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think like in the 80s and 90s, you might have been able to just show up at somebody's hospital room.
You could do it today, but you have to, if it's just somebody in the hospital, usually you have to go through, like if I was going to the hospital that's downtown, and I wanted to visit somebody who was there because they had their appendix out or they were in a car accident or something.
Yeah.
You would have to go through the front where there's a TSA style like metal detector that you would go through, and you would put all your stuff in a little bin, and they would look at it, and then I think once you've done that, you can go up. I don't think you have to necessarily check in at the front desk unless you don't know what room they're in.
Still to this day, that's the case.
Yes.
Or B, yeah. Or the other option is...
You think I could just walk into a hospital and if there was a woman giving birth in the maternity ward...
Okay,
not necessarily. It depends how big the hospital is, too.
Well, there are some caveats to what I was about to say. If it's a maternity ward, absolutely not. You have to check in at the right place and you have to be let in. Like when we were in the hospital to have Jackson, you had to stop at a desk and then... identify who you were going to see, where, and stuff like that, and they would, unlock the door for you.
Or like ICU or NICU would probably be the same thing?
Likely, yes. There were certain areas of the hospital, like ICU, would be only one or two people at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they've changed this a bit over the years. They've also changed, we were talking about, I said, Courtney, this might not add up for you, but you used to be able to, this was a while ago, it was a long time ago, before my time, certainly. You used to be able to show up at the airport and go looking for a flight to Montreal. And they go, you going to Montreal? Okay, we got a flight to Montreal at 4:15. And you'd go, okay, I'll take a ticket to that. And they'd say, oh, just sign your name on this form here. And you put what your name was. No identification, no TSA, no scanning of your body, no metal detectors, none of that. That's how you flew. You flew commercially by going in there. You got a ticket. I want a ticket. Buy the ticket. Boom. You move on. What happened? A bunch of people hijacked flights. 9/11 happened. All these other things where bad people change things. And we are seeing a massive outbreak of people dying and dashing at establishments across the country. I would not be surprised if we adopted some changes there. And somebody said, hey, I went to Poland not that long ago. And in Poland... when you sit down and you're about to get a meal, they ask you what you want and you pay for your meal ahead of you getting it delivered, much like you would at a Universal theme park restaurant or various other places like that. And the person who posted this online said, I would rather pay first. I actually like it because you are not, and I hadn't even thought about this, held hostage by whether the wait staff is able to bring you the check at any point in time.
Correct.
You can go.
There are places where you can sort of do that. Like some of the chain sit-down restaurants try to, expedite things for their lunch rush. So, like, if you go to Olive Garden, they got that little tablet there at the table.
That's what I was trained on before we got this job, before we started the midday show. I'll call it, when I was at Uno's. They're like, you aced this new system we have here in which everyone pays and looks through all the stuff. They want the dessert, but you got to memorize this.
Damn.
And that seemed to be the future. And some places, it absolutely works. Other places, it works for all of 2 weeks and they go back to the old school ways.
They were trailblazers on that then because that was
with the location of it. That was tourist central.
Yeah. Now, right, but that was before most other places did this. C-Lane's talking about Olive Garden, and I think you could just do everything from the little console on the table at an Olive Garden.
In some places, the activation is better than not. I think the last time I was at the Olive Garden, and they waited on us, but at least she rang the appetizers in on the little tablet so that they would come in quickly. And then we ordered the rest of the stuff through our waitress. And I go, well, we did the unlimited soups, and I always need to see, like, what are the available soups, and I hit menu on that little tablet thing, and it showed me a QR code to scan to look at the menu. I'm like, this is a tablet. What, how are you not just showing me the menu on the device? This is a very needless step.
I agree. That's a little, you don't need to go that way. They could have given you right there. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and we'll include the Marjorie Taylor Greene story, the teacher who did the house party, the update on her. Obviously, we'll do Today I Learned. We'll wrap everything up for a Wednesday. All of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio.
This morning is going to give way to a beautiful afternoon. We're expecting sunshine, pleasant temperatures, a high right around 83 degrees today in Orlando. We'll continue to see pleasant temperatures throughout the end of this week, along with plenty of sunshine, even though we need the rain. Now, if we're Easter weekend, we are going to be heating up, a high of 87 Saturday and 89 Sunday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
What's an American? It sounds like an easy question to answer, but it's not so simple. This week on Red Pilled America, we take a deep dive into this question, and what we found will shock you. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
There's nothing more annoying than when you think everything's in order, when you think things are all coming up you, and you get a little piece of bad news. Your kids tell you, hey, Dad, Mom, I don't think the air conditioner is working like it's supposed to be. It's a little hot in the house. And you have that homeowner panic. Oh, boy, $, $. Know that you are in good hands with at least one company out there that I can stand behind, Mills Air. They are a company run by a guy named Leon Mills. He wanted to start a family-owned and operated company. He's done that. A locally owned and operated company. He's done that. A company that's respected by people who trust them not to rip them off. And it's a great company. So if you have a problem with your AC, remember, they're out there as a resource for you. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Here's their phone number, 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
This little piggy wasn't affected by the market. This little piggy had protected funds. This little...
Go by! 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left in the show. Who's our chatter of the day? Our chatter of the day is not the person that's been endlessly whining about whatever story. Not that person. I'm giving chatter of the day to a name I recall. Seen this name around quite a bit on chat. I think that generally they're cool. I have a good vibe of this person. And I'm happy to congratulate Mark Carr as chatter of the day. Mark Carr on YouTube. I see your name around enough, and I want to congratulate you. 1 billion Beast Bucks is yours. Congratulations, sir. Mark, congrats. You did it. They said it couldn't be done. All right, we're coming back to wrap things up, folks. Have a great day. Thank you for being with us on our Wednesday stream. Thursday, Friday, big shows on the way. News coming about our Halloween roasts before the end of the week.
TrustandWill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
New Year's resolution is to buy a home? Get your free buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com.
Real Radio 104.1.
Documenting and contributing to the decline in American culture. This
Wednesday. I should say and, not or, but we'll do all of those here in just a moment on the show.
And or. I'm a huge fan.
I don't know why I said, or today I learned. Well, today I learned it's going to happen. I don't know how much of it's going to happen, but at least some of it's going to happen here.
Learning.
So we wrap up the show. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you. Thanks for being with us. Great job, everybody, all the way around. You did it.
you.
They said it couldn't
Thank
be
you,
done.
Sean.
Not you. That was not
You
directed
said
at
everybody.
I'm just clapping. So
I was directing that at everybody. All of the people. Fritz did a great job.
he's gone. He left.
He's out of here. But we loved the moments that we had him, as we always do.
Acting
Go
like he
follow
died.
him. Go follow Sabrina and C
Yes,
Lane.
thank you.
But only follow them on one platform and follow me on all the platforms.
Okay, see, it started
Yes.
out nice. Why do you have to do that?
Fine. Follow everybody on all the platforms, on all of them, at thenewsjunkie.com/share.
I
Doesn't
don't
cost
know
you
if
anything.
you heard what I ended up doing yesterday.
What'd you end up doing yesterday?
Nasty gyno appointment.
Okay.
I had the wonderful opportunity to go to Epic, but it was like my one opportunity.
Oh, Epic Universe. Okay.
And I just got the free photos that they took of me throughout the concourse.
What, did they not come out nice?
They came out very interesting, and I'm looking forward to posting them online at Sabrina Ambra.
What was so interesting about them?
I look insane.
Oh.
I don't know what to do with my body. They're like,
What, for the whole day you were looking insane?
I mean, just the ones that I pulled from the internet, but they're like, give us your favorite roar face. Not good at that. Give us you with a wand that doesn't exist. Not
You
good
do
either.
that. Like the Disney Channel. You do the
This
wave
is
of
a
fake wand
completely
in there.
different theme park.
Like this.
No, it's a Harry Potter wand.
Yeah, it's the same motion, though. It's very easy.
Two different parks.
This station has lost a lot of labor to this new theme park opening up. It really
Tell me
has.
about it.
It's brought us to our knees with Jack Bradshaw
Back in
going
the day,
twice.
they used to give us a day to broadcast from there, and then we could all go without having to be secrets.
Hey, we talked yesterday, Sabrina. You weren't here, but we talked about how somebody has already been banned for life from a theme park that's not even open. They're not even officially open yet.
Perfect. I love
And
that.
For stealing.
Yeah, proudly.
What'd they steal?
They stole something from Epic Universe, and then when they were booted out by the cops and everything, they're like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'm proud of this." I'm like, "What?
You didn't even get a chance
loser."
to see the whole thing.
No, and that
Idiot.
park is something I like. I could spend so much time there.
I
but
was very overstimulated.
it's cool. Did you go on any rides?
Yes, went on the Mario Kart. Went on
Mario
the middle ride, which is like the craziest roller coaster I've ever been on.
Yeah,
That
oh,
was
Stardust.
cool. Yeah. And then
Did you do Monsters?
I did Monsters, which was insane as well.
Very cool.
Where I know the art director of that, like that portion, the dark places, dark what is
Dark
it?
Universe?
Dark
Yeah.
Universe. And I'm like, how'd you guys do it? Tell me right now, because I see it's animatronic, but I could also see every pore in Frankenstein's body.
Yeah, there were
And
some
it's like,
really
it's
cool ones.
magic.
Yeah, and the whole area over there is so fun. I mean, they just like to think of the job that it is to build an entire theme park.
So cool.
And to do that in 5 years, like kudos to all of the talented
you
people.
build it on your computer and you get to walk through your work is also mind blowing.
Yeah, I would like to be part of something like that would be so cool because then you get to see all the people enjoying it afterwards, except for the one jerk. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com, and Christina emails. It says, there are many hospitals that you could just walk into without any ID. You just walk through the emergency room or another entrance, and the ones that you do go to the front and get a pass for visiting don't have metal detectors. At least none of the few dozen hospitals that I personally had experience with. I also, this past week, took some time. There were lots of recommendations for this. No, kind of. I started watching, we watched an episode of The Pit.
Oh, Sean, I loved The Pit.
Everybody said, you got to watch this. I know a friend who works at a hospital. He's like, it's the most realistic doctor show I've ever seen. I hated it.
Here's the thing, though, and you get the opportunity to watch it as the shift because every episode is a different hour.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was incredible.
I thought the acting was good.
Please give it a couple more episodes.
Them showing the wounds and injuries that people had. Woof, man.
Wait till the baby scene, my guy.
I saw that too. I saw one of the scenes at the beginning.
Full crown.
So I thought it was impressive, and they did a lot of things. I was like, I don't know if this stressful hospital thing is for me necessarily.
Not a medical guy.
No, the pit. And then, like, on the first episode, like, don't call it the Pit. But the guy still calls it the Pit.
Brought back Noah Wiley, huh?
Yeah. All right, let's do these stories that didn't make the cut.
Wish you would have brought this up sooner.
Marjorie Taylor Greene dubbed butch-bodied bigot at a town hall that she did on Tuesday night in Georgia. Somebody shouted out, "You're a butch-bodied bigot."
That's what.
How about Jasmine Crockett?
Yes, I'd call.
She said that as well. Called her a butch or something like that. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene fired back and said that Crockett had fake eyelashes because this is what we're doing here, I guess, just taking personal shots at everybody. One of these town halls to go a little awry, and that's what's going to continue to happen. The Brevard teacher that was placed on leave previously because she was involved in the teen house party and then put back into a school has been placed on leave yet again after yesterday's story.
King Ima?
Not great for her, this particular lady. She went back to work and then right back to home on leave. Carly Anderson is her name. All right, here we go. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. This show. Scooby-Doo. That's right, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Warner Brothers still makes films for the beloved Scooby-Doo direct-to-video animated series. They make one every single year, and they've done it since 1998's Zombie Island. I bring it up every time. I still say it. Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated, one of the best animated series ever. If you missed it, go check it out.
Hot take.
Today I learned this guy right here.
Elton John.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right, Elton John. Or what's his name again?
Richard something.
Reginald Kenneth Dwight.
Okay.
Reginald Kenneth Dwight. Elvis Presley was Elton John's wake-up call. In 1976, Elton met Elvis backstage and said it was sad, recalling Presley's drug state. John and his mom were escorted to their seats and watched with equal parts horror and admiration of Fat Elvis. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Miss any of the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you.